Does it go down? Oh, you know what? Maybe it goes down. Okay, let's do that. Okay, Control G. I know that's what I set it to. All right, let's do it. Okay. I need some. Hopefully, you have to see the screen. It's tier list time. Oh no, it didn't. All right. Yeah. Tier list time. Yeah. I think this is a good spread for like the tiers. Honestly, D. Everybody has like D in their tier list, so it's fine. I want like specific music though. We need like the investigator persona type. All right, hold on. Gotta find my favorite song real quick. Which one is it? It's the one where they're in the menu. Yeah, there you go. No, actually, this is what's it? Takami's when you're at the clinic. But yeah, I'm Socks. Hello, ladies and gents. I'm going to tell you all what I think about these Pokemon and where I think they are, how good I think they are. My opinions are going to be very interesting, and I hope you like them. It's going to be fun to talk about. Okay. I will try to. I'll order them at the end. How about that? So let's start with Venusaur. We can go just straight up. Venusaur. I think he's fine. I think Venusaur is like right in the middle. Very good. Not super good, but good. Like Giga Drain Pedal Dance is so strong. I actually like finally learned it. Finally. And it's great. I love it. As in just like, yeah, in the meta itself. I think just in the meta itself. Because like there's some I'll like explain like the nuances of Solo Q. I think this Pokemon can be solo queued really easily. I don't think it's an easy climb. Attackers first. We can do all attackers first. I'm down. Yeah, dude. I have a soft spot for all the attackers except for Sylveon because I don't have her. But I think I've played every other attacker. Venusaur is the strongest and easy Pokemon. Oh, okay. I'm down for that. I will say I think both builds are good, like so good. Solar Beam can steal objectives, it can kill people, it can does damage if you don't have like a good option to like get out of the way or like. Because I think just walking out of it sometimes you'll take like the barely little end of this like half of a hit and it's still good damage. His ultimate is super good. It is hard to super like delete people in team fights, but as long I think his ult coped with Giga Drain Pedal Dance is super strong because the attack speed just lets you like decimate people. So I think he has the potential to steamroll hard too. Him getting to go, his move speed is really slow, like good, not super fast, but like I think he's tied with what's his face, Blastoise. They're not slow at all, but like you can get away from them if you have a good like one move. Yeah, I don't own Sylveon. I've never owned Sylveon either. Let's go. Aw. I've following you for so long. You're the man. The Socks Club. Let's go. But yeah, that's why I put Venusaur. I think he's like solid A tier. Good pick. I think you can solo him. Like, I think you can solo main him and still be good. But you kind of depend on the team a little bit. Like, you can't like 1v5 unless you're like super good and have enough experience to like know what the cooldowns are, when to like fight by the goal. I think he can like do it not without the goal though. I think he like needs the shield. Even with the healing, like you just get out damaged most of the time by like freaking Gengar, Cinderace, what's his face, Zero Aura. If they jump on you and you already start your Pedal Dance, like that becomes a rough situation. So I don't think he's like broken, but he's good. I think he's solid. Oh yeah, I forgot to set my timer because I will literally render. Yeah. Hold on. I'm setting my timer for everyone. We're gonna do the attackers first, as per my man's request. 5 minutes or less. All right. Next range attacker, Gardevoir. I think Gardevoir is okay. I don't think she's great. She does really good damage. She's good fed. How about that? I think she's a good jungler. I think she really excels in the jungle. Like, if you don't delete her, she's either like kiting you, because at first I think her mid game solid. If she starts in the jungle, she gets Krillia, and then she jumps to you with Psyshock. Like, it's really hard to get away from her sometimes. Or if she has Moonblast, and you just get stunned to hell, and then she's a really good team fighter. In that case, specifically in that case, if she has her stun, once that, she can only do damage. She does get burst down. She's kind of squishy, but her movement's nice. Her ultimate is so good for team fights. Oh my god, her ultimate. You just have to know the position. Everybody being close, oof, like you just get hit. Yeah, I think she's definitely a high skill character too, and that's why I put her a little lower. She doesn't have ease of access at all. Like, you're kind of just struggling a little bit until you get like fed or get like a pick, and then you playing. She excels in like a numbers advantage too, and yeah, I think as the game goes on, she gets better and better. But her early game is kind of like hit or miss. Like, if you're a really good Gardevoir, it can go one or two ways. Either you're winning really hard, or you're losing really hard, or you're playing the even game, and you get the XP lead, and you just have to hold that. But I definitely think she's a better jungler than she is laner. But once she gets to like Krillia level 7 and 8 and has the potential level up, dude, that's a big thing. Like, I don't hear people talking about that a lot. Like, if you're about to level up, knowing, like, just watching their AXP bar and they barely like kill someone and then they level up, first of all, they're invincible, and if they spam their ultimate, depending on who it is, like Gardevoir, it could turn the tide of the game like so hard. So she definitely benefits to XP lead, good jungler. Overall, I think she's good. Her presence in lane is scary. Psyshock is great. I don't know what the other one is. It might be Future Sight. I don't know her abilities like that well, but I'll look them up. But yeah, I think she's solid B. Great. And I would play her. I would buy her too. You haven't played her a lot. I know you bought her in the past. Jess, what's up? We're making a tier list. We're on attackers at the moment. Yes, it's going good. How are you? I'm so glad to see you. You're in the SOP club too. I think we played like a few times, and you carried me a lot, and I appreciate it. That was under 5 minutes. Great. Good. Okay, the next attacker is Garchomp. I think he might be an all-rounder. Let me see real quick. I think he might be an all-rounder. I don't know for sure. I'm gonna have this up real quick just to like advance. I know it shows their type. So is he an all-rounder? There he is. Pokemon Fold. Okay, cool. He's not all-rounder. I didn't know if he was just classified as an attacker or what. So we'll skip the all-rounders. Next is probably Greninja. Listen. Hear me out. I think Greninja is so good. I think he is so good. I think he is very squishy, but I also think he's a very high skill character. He gets steamrolled so hard. If y'all lose the first fight of Dreadnought and he gets Dreadnought first, oh my goodness. Go ahead. Yeah, you can listen to me ramble on. Oh yeah, I didn't start the timer, but yeah. I definitely needed the 5 minutes for this one. So yeah, when I first started the game, Greninja was one of the first characters I played, and his character's great. Like his early game is not super strong, but his melee damage is more than his range damage. But if he kites you, he gets bubble back, and he can just he sells in team fights too. I think X attack goes really well on him. I think he can run score comps. I think he's just so fast. Surf is way too good. Water Shuriken is nice. I think Water Shuriken also I think it either, well, I'm probably getting hit by it while he has red buff. It doesn't slow you, but it does really good damage. Both his builds are nice. I think Surf is a little stronger because you reset when you kill someone or something. So if y'all are fighting at bees, oh my god. If he's jungle and he jumps on y'all when he has the buff, you might just die. If he knows how to just kite and go like kill the bees while hitting you, he can literally reset surf. And if he kills one of y'all, he gets another surf. And I have like ace teams so much with Greninja. I think Greninja is like high potential, like high skill character. I do think he does get jumped on. I think it's hard for him to like, he can't like 1v4 or even like 1v3 like perfectly, like easily. Like he needs to be either fed, have the experience gain, have a red buff. When a Greninja is good, like it's so hard. And then that's not even talking about smoke screen. Oh my goodness, smoke screen is an underrated move. Having invis, being able to jump on people for I know you guys know it, but like if he's in the bush or invis when he ults, you don't have any sound cues. So you either just straight up getting hit or like just dying, and then you see him. Like his offensive pressure is really strong. I'm biased. I know a lot of people put him like A because he either has fallen off, gotten nerfed as well. But I think it's fine. I think he's still like the same Pokemon he was. Not on release, obviously, but I feel his power all the time. Dang, dude, Greninja is definitely one of my big picks. And sometimes I try to go back to him, but I'm having too much fun with Duraludon right now. Duraludon, Decidueye, Ninetales. Since they gave her the jump, I'm loving the jump. It's definitely tickling my fancy a lot. That is my Greninja. I think he's really good. He's another one. He's in my top 5. Next attacker, Cinderace. Oh my god. This character, she's in my top 3. I think she's just so offensively good. She has to go in, but that's like her strong suit. Blaze Kick, dummy broken. That move, when they gave you the ability to jump directions, I was like, oh no, this is so stressed. Cinderace, I think, is like, dude, there are a lot of attackers in the game, and they all excel at just killing people. Cinderace is easily my top 3 picks. She's so good, fast, and when she levels up and gets fed, she attacks quicker. Not to mention the attack buff on X attack if you're running it. I think Flash is a safe option on her. I think Full Heal is a safe option on her, but I think she can like almost run whatever you want. But she just benefits so heavily. It's a crits, Buddy Barrier. The build I run on her is Muscle Band, Scope Lens, Buddy Barrier, and that's it. Like, y'all are deleting team. She gets a shield. Lowest person gets a shield. Bam, bam, bam. Turkey in hand, you're done. You are in the ground, or you're having to respawn, and like, she's good at like fighting at the goal too. I really feel like if she kites well, sometimes you just aren't killing her, and she just kills you for free. And then you try to run away from her, and she's like, "Oh, I got Flame Charge, I got Blaze Kick, Pyro Ball." Listen, Pyro Ball's good. The last few games we won with a Cinderace running Pyro Ball, it's fine, but I don't think it gives you the utility that Blaze Kick does. Blaze Kick is out of leaps and bounds better. Like, it's so good. Why would you run Blaze Kick? Listen, you can run Powerball. I'm not saying it's bad. It's still good. It's strong. It gives you like a target projectile that sometimes if that person has like 10% health, usually Blaze Kick is not Blaze Kick. Powerball is doing them in most of the time. If she can get another auto win, or if she has another option. Fent's so good too. Literally gives you invincibility for a whole day. It's literally a dodge roll, and it's great. It's great for her. She can be defensive too. Like, the amount of damage she does. That was my 5 minutes. Okay, but yeah, Cinderace top 3 for me. She can do whatever. This is a very multi-purpose jungler / laner. Her early game is not very, very strong, but if you know your combos, get your hit 2 hits to the boosted, and then hit the boosted, do the, what is it? It's what is the thing that sends the projectile straight towards you when it tracks? It gives you another boosted attack. So if you know that combo really well, oh my god, she can just go off really hard early in 2. Yours are, yeah, both bands, Scope Land. Yeah, that's good too. Oh my god, Focus Band is so damn annoying. And so on her too would be great. Yeah, I'll try to wrap it up. I do think yeah, she can run a lot of stuff and be really great. I think Cinderace is strong. And then the next attacker we have is Pikachu. Pikachu is A. I put Pikachu atop of A because I really think Pikachu is strong. I think Pikachu offensively has a lot of range too. She's got the Duraludon syndrome where she can just like, if she's sticking to you, hitting you, Electro Web is such a good ability to start out with to lock you down. Thunder, Electro Ball, Thunderbolt is probably my favorite one, my favorite set to run on her, but Voltag Electro Ball is just as good. It's just as good in the CC. If y'all are running a CC focused team, it might be better depending on what y'all are running. I didn't even talk about the solo queue aspect of Cinderace, but I will say the Cinderace is easily solo queuable. I think you can like main Cinderace for the whole game and still make it to Masters without like a problem. I think like everybody like at the top 5 of A and above, you can solo queue them and it'd be good. I think Venusaur is like right at the cusp, but Venusaur can still be solo too. But you definitely will depend a lot more on your team. Whereas the top 5 of A, you know, we'll get to all of them. But they're like playmaking characters, right? Like if they jump in on y'all, they're definitely either doing damage or killing something or ulting, and it's just changing the whole fight. These are like the characters you sometimes just can't ignore, and Pikachu is one of them. Buddy Barrier on ult is so strong. I think it's like one of the best things to run on Pikachu. Like it sucks. Like you were literally just about to kill the Pikachu has a sliver of health. Oh snap, level up. Let me ult real quick, and like it feels like everybody gets a buddy barrier. Maybe I'm playing against Pikachu's where the team has multiple buddy barriers, but that shield on Pikachu is nice. And if you don't get out of the AoE, it's really good. I think what I actually run, because I'm a maniac, I run special attack specs with choice specs and buddy barrier most of the time, because as long as I'm like doing enough damage and staying like just far away enough at that back line carry range to do damage and like finish fights or kill people, Pikachu is excelling in the fight. And with an experience of, oh my god, a Pikachu Fed is so good. I think a Pikachu Fed is like disgusting sometimes, because if you just don't have enough healing, or if you don't have a Blissey on your team or a Wigglytuff, like a good support character, oh my god. Why is Clefable in here? Is it spoilers? Ignore. You know what? We're gonna use Clefable for our Azumarill. They're both fairies. It works. Sorry to go a little off track, but I do think that Pikachu is really strong. I think Pikachu's fast too, so sometimes it's just hard to get away from her. When she ults, oh my god, you better be ready. Buddy Barrier and Shell Bell. Does Shell Bell really work? I feel like Shell Bell's a troll item, but if you say it, yeah, you're good. I'll pay you respect. I hold your opinion in high regard, Santiago. Thank you. I never tried it, so I'll probably try it. I have a lot of the items. I bought them recently. Yeah, that's my 5 minutes. But Pikachu is good. I think Pikachu is top 5 in the A tier. I think A plus is a good place to put her. She can just decimate team fights. I think Pikachu is a team fighter. Like she just like needs to stay in the back doing as much damage as she can, ults when she can, and then just beat the high priority targets like Duraludon. Just burst them down. I'm mainly saying Duraludon because there's not a lot of them. There's Lucario sometimes if they're not fed, Talonflame, Ninetales if she's keeping the team alive. Like whoever is like being the most obnoxious on the team, like supports. Pikachu wants to hit the supports most of the time. And like as long as I win the team fight, to be honest, like you can talk about the scoring speed, but like there's not really I don't think Goal Getter. I don't think score comps are like really good on her. She's just like if you go full damage, like even Muscle Band. I used to run that before I realized how important special attack switch is, and I was still doing well with her even before that. So as long as y'all getting experience in farming, I think farming also is very important. They also like super benefit from farming a lot. That's my take on Pikachu. I think it's good. I think as far as solo queue, I think you can solo queue Pikachu, but if you aren't fighting with the team, you either need to be at the goal or like super kiting, like you can't get jumped on. Pikachu's really squishy too, so she can get blown up really easy, but I do think that's a really good one. That's my team. Hold on, let me get some water. I'm talking a lot. My throat is dry. These are back. Sparkling or non-carbonated? Pikachu's good. I tried Pikachu for a whole month. I was having so much fun. Character's nice. Who is our next attacker? Is Cramorant an attacker? I think it might be. We'll do Cramorant. What do I think of Cramorant? Cramorant's nice. Is he bad or is he slightly not terrible? I think like I think I just can't do it. I think he's like not super good at all, and I think it's because he got power crept so hard. C plus. You're generous. Is a range ranged attacker? Great. Yeah. Charizard. Oh, let's go Super. What's up? Welcome back. I haven't seen you in a minute. Charizard A tier. We're going. So yeah, by Santiano's request, we're going through ranged attackers first. So ranged attackers. Who is it? There's another one. Melee attackers. Oh yeah, Charizard is an attacker, right? You're so right. No, he's all around. Yeah, I remember that. I played him a little bit enough to know. But yeah, I think Cramorant is fine. When I see a Cramorant, if they're not running Surf, I do think it is a disservice, but I don't play against a lot of like dive Cramorant builds. So I don't know exactly like how to play against it as well. So it may be like a matchup inexperience thing. But I definitely put him low. It's only because I feel like his ult. Why did they nerf his ult? That was just the weirdest take I've ever seen the devs take. Like I didn't think they were gonna nerf him like that. I didn't think he was like broken at all either. Like even when he first came out, like he's fine. He's another attacker that I don't own, and he's there. But I feel like he has good movement. I think Air Slash, he can get out of fights for sure. Air Slash and Dive are really good movement tools. Like him, like running score comps, I wouldn't recommend it obviously because there's just so many better options, unfortunately. But he can do stuff. He can actually like 1v3. Like if he's just fed enough and is at the goal, I think it's kind of hard to take out. Don't do my boyfriend like that. I think he's not good. I do get hit by the hurricane and I'd be like, oh no, this is bad. I was seeing Cramplay was amazing. Yeah. I do agree. He did get power crept, and that's what I mean. Like, there's just so many stronger picks for him. But I do think when Cramorant like gets going, it's kind of hard to stop him, and then get away from his ult is kind of hard too. Especially when he gets the Pikachu's and you get like slowed. Oh god, it's so annoying. And it's like you see the red little like alluring, and I'm like, okay, you got it. I'm like, I guess I'll just die. But overall, Cramorant is fine. I do think he's a good laner. I think he's a really good laner actually. I'll lighten up on Santiano for sure because I do think Cramorant is not bad. Like playing against him in lane, you still have to like be smart about attacking him. You can't just like blow him up. He has good defenses. He has good autos too. The Pikachu autos are annoying. That's another thing too. I don't really like play almost. I barely ever see Cramorant. It's like that one game we played and we still won on them, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's just Cramorant. Yeah. Unfortunate. All right, who's next? Is Blastoise right? I think Blastoise is a defender. I think he's a defender. I think Snorlax is a defender too. So I guess we'll go to Ninetales. Ninetales. I was trying to be biased. I think Ninetales isn't like top of A. I know she's definitely better than Venusaur. Like, let's be real. Her lane presence is just so strong. So strong. Crimes Unite kind of reminds me of Decidueye Unite, but a little worse. Yeah. It does auto aim on people, which is nice. If Decidueye is auto aim, oh my god. Imagine, disgusting. But Cramorant is good. It's a good ult. I put their ults in the same tier, yeah, for sure. I'll probably do an ult tier list too, because I definitely some of these ults have been surprising me lately. I like him. He's good steal at the start. Yeah, yeah. He definitely can steal a lot of objectives, and he can like steal a lot of farm too. And it's annoying to lane against him. Ninetales is my A plus pick. I think she's like number one A tier for me, and that's a little biased, but I think she's really good. I've always thought she's good, like from the beginning of the game. Like even though what is it? They nerfed the damage reduction on her. Everybody still gets the normal like half damage in Auroraville. I do think Auroraville is the strongest build, but that's not discounting Avalanche Blizzard. I think Avalanche Blizzard is a very strong build to run too. It's like slightly like if it was like one thing, if you put Auroraville, Dazzling Gleam, and S tier, then their build is like A plus. It's fine. It does really good damage. Blizzard hitting walls will make the AoE effect, and it does so much damage. If you were standing there, you have to either like get out of there or be ready. Just be ready for her to like have it and space around Blizzard. Blizzard has so much range. And then if you're trying to leave while the avalanche is still up, you could get refrozen again. Like I've had that happen a few times to me and to my enemies too. Her ult is good. I think she's a really good. She's probably like an essential team fighter. Like it's just so good. But she dominates lane. Like she can really like kill early. I think she has like one of the strongest early games. I think like it's scary to lane against her, especially if they're really really good. You make a Unite tier list. Talonflame is B or B minus. Dang, yeah. I need to learn Talonflame's ult too. I think I've like seen or experienced enough of the ults to like kind of like judge them. But definitely hers is good too. I think Talonflame's is not bad, but I don't think it's like great. I do think it has some quirks that you can abuse too. And then if you have full heal or if you're Duraludon and nobody CC'd you, then you just get to ignore it. It is, yeah. An unmistakable cry, but yeah, Ninetales, high up on my list. I've always respected her. I made it to Masters for the first time with her. I think she is easily a solo queuable character. Like, you can carry team fights and you can carry objective fights too. Like, it's really, really impactful. I think having a Ninetales on your team is like, you have a little room to breathe in lane. Like she frees up a lot of the things. She kind of like makes the enemy like back up if they're not focusing her or if they have Auroraville. But even so, if they know the Avalanche Blizzard combo and just have enough spacing or positioning well, she kind of just gets to like run the team fight sometimes. If she's not getting jumped on by like Talonflame, Zero Aura, Aegislash, she struggles with Aegislash a lot. I think Aegislash is a good counter to her. Because if you run specifically, this is why I think Avalanche Blizzard is bad. Because if you have a person that's like a Lucario extreme speeding on you, Zero Aura volt switching, if any character that can like switch their position like at will, it becomes a really hard guessing game that she has to play, and you can just like kite the tower or like hope you hit them with the autos but you have to hope you kill them, right? Like if you're not hitting them with your skills, then it's gonna suck for you. And she gets countered by characters that can cross her up really hard. So I think Aegislash, Lucario are probably her hardest matchups in lane specifically. Greedent also is a character she struggles with because of just the unstoppability of Covet. Like that's a really annoying thing to deal with too. But she's still strong. I think she's still a good pick. Like you can just do it. I do. The buff on Auroraville, I try not to like talk about it too long. See, look, I'm about to go 30 seconds, but that was definitely a defining moment for her. I honestly, even with that buff, I still think she's in the same place. And it's because I used to think she was S tier, and it's because they nerfed how much she gets herself from Auroraville. If she could survive with the half damage, oh my god, like she'd be broken. It's stupid. Like, yeah, when it first dropped, you being able to position yourself and your AoE to protect your team, like it was so impactful. So I think that was a good nerf. That was a good balance for her. Cause I was running Ninetales when I was like, no way. Did it really happen? Yeah, it's like, all right, sucks. Relax. Thank you for listening to me like blur about Ninetales, but I think Ninetales is a great Pokemon. I think she's a good starter Pokemon. Like if you're just getting into the game, Ninetales. I think she is your friend. She was my friend when I first started, man. That's a good one. Who's the next attacker? Is Machamp attacker or an all-rounder? I actually don't know. Is he an all-rounder? He might be a melee attack. Are there like many melee attackers? I don't think so. It's either Machamp or Sylveon. Because I don't know, I'll probably like go yeah. Yeah. My TikTok win. That's me. I love her. Alright, the next one is Sylveon. I think Sylveon is so good too. Do I think she's better? I think her and Venusaur are in the same place, but I think Sylveon is strong in lane. Like, I think it is so annoying to play against her. Yeah, Decidueye is next. I'm trying to hold it in. Cause I have a sub master Decidueye too. When I actually started playing him, he wasn't like buffed as he was. But I love Decidueye. He's probably, if I had a main of choice, it's easily Decidueye. He's like my top 5 Pokemon in the whole series. But definitely, I think Sylveon's good. I think she's strong. I think Hyper Voice is strong. I think Mystic Fire, the move speed she gets from Hyper Voice is really good. It's good for the ability. Because you shouldn't be able to aim it. I said that too. I was like, you should not be. The amount of damage it does, if you could aim that move, she jumps up like 3 more spots for me. Like, it'd be gross. That's what I was literally finna say that, dude. Relax. Alright, Sylveon, I hate 1v1ing Sylveon. I hate her because of the healing. Because of the attack damage reduction. Her ult reduces damage that you do to her team. Just in general. And her ult is so good too. Like the invincible jump. And she has increased move speed. Oh my god. The jump with Mystical Fire. She can literally she can chase you really hard and she can kite you really hard and force you to chase her. Like, it's really annoying to be against a Sylveon in the Zapdos fight specifically. Like, endgame Sylveon is so annoying. She's really strong. Like I think you can't really ignore her sometimes. Like, you just have to either kill her or run away from her. Like, it's sometimes yeah. Oh my god. Is it Strength Set or is it a Draining Kiss? It probably is Draining Kiss. Dude, yeah, she's the man. That'd be so funny, just slow. Just for the meme. I think her early game is fine too. Because she levels up at level 4, that's big. That's big for her because she jumps. She's one of the few characters that really excels at leveling up. And I think when a Pokemon levels up, depending on what they level to, will decide what you do next. Do you just run away? It's fine. But I hold Sylveon in a high regard, and it's only because I didn't buy her when she first came out, so I don't have a soft spot for her. But I do think she's so strong. I think that character's fine. I know there's a lot of she got nerfed a lot though. I do think she's nowhere near release, but she's strong. She's a strong Pokemon. I think you can solo this Pokemon too. Would I put her in the same tier as Venusaur? I think I put her slightly above. And it's only because of her longevity in lane. I'm killing Venusaur way more often than I'm killing a Sylveon. She has just so much mobility. She has a jump. She can run. Calm Mind is good too and is strong. She can just literally burst you down if y'all don't deal with her correctly. Which is if you're Cinderace, blah blah blah, anyone Ninetales and above, you're kiting her, killing her, trying to force her to either back off the fight, force her to use her ult. Hopefully you kill her, right? Hopefully she's not running Buddy Berry, which she usually is. So she's gonna she's going to benefit a lot in team fights. I think it's hard to deal with her a lot. This character, oh yeah, I'm a little hesitant. I try to play really safe because you can't really just run up to the goal, especially if she's running the right items. I think she's good in slow smoke. I think X speed on her is amazing too. I think X attack on her is kind of crazy. Yeah. Dude, yeah. I think high skill Sylveons just live. They just live and they go on forever and they fight and they usually they win if no one rotates to them. Rotates to you fighting the Sylveon obviously, but top 5 in my A tier. I think she's super strong. She's a good one. She's a keeper. I had 1 minute left. Good deal. Next, my favorite. Oh, my boy, my starter from Sun and Moon. Decidueye. Listen, I think Decidueye is at the top of B tier. That's why I'll put him. I think he is low tier, but I think he is strong. I think he is really strong, and the reason I think that is because of those buffs. Listen, I played Decidueye on my main. If you scroll, I don't know how long the match history goes back, but if you go back to my main history, I played him so much, and it is so hard. It's so hard. I didn't even use attack weight on him. Like, I didn't have attack weight when I first started the game, so when he came out, I was like, oh my god, it's Decidueye, easy. This character's great. Character sucks. And the only reason I'm saying that is because his early game is so taxing. It's such, he's definitely the glass cannon. He's the glass cannon of the game. If you are not doing well with him early, you are most likely in a bad spot, or y'all are struggling, like, most of the time. He has to farm a lot. I think he benefits to being in the jungle a lot too, but it's still like hit or miss. It depends on, he's like heavily dependent on skill too. Like, if you can land the Spirit Shackles, it can be good. Razor Leaf, super good. Leaf Storm, unusable. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Shadow Sneak is so good. Shadow Sneak is so good. He literally gets move speed, literally reveals the closest enemy to him. Like, it's so good. And you get free Spirit Shackles. If they're at low health, they might just die. Shadow Sneak can crit. It's really good too. I think the utility overall heavily outweighs Leaf Storm. Like, unless I read the move wrong and it gives him move speed or something, which is still not even that great. Like, it's fine, you know. But I think if he plays it correctly, if he stays in the back line and is willing to get out of some situation, because sometimes the Decidueye just can't do it, bro. Like, 1v5, that's not happening. That's not happening. You can Razor Leaf sometimes, and if they didn't see you immediately, and you hopefully like take out somebody, maybe you can get it. He can steamroll. He can steamroll really hard. But I think he just benefits so hard from Spirit Shackle. I think Spirit Shackle is his best build. But I came up on him from Razor Leaf. I was winning with Razor Leaf because it's just great. You can burst down many. You can farm way faster with Razor Leaf. It's still usable. But I do think he needs Shadow Sneak. I think he needs Shadow Sneak as a second move. It's not a question. I don't think Leaf Storm Leafs. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But it's not good enough to like carry games. Or like, you can like position somebody. It's like good for like pushing your opponent. Yeah, pushing your opponent off the goal. That's fine. Off your enemy. If you push the enemy off the goal, that's also good. But you know, there's so much. I think attack weight for him is also hard to score. It's hard for him to get to the goal. Like, you just can't run up to the goal. You can get like a free sometimes, but even then it's hard to get away. I usually I run him with a X speed. I think Muscle Band, Scope Lens, and whatever your third item is. He can run a lot of third items actually. Energy Amp, now that they buff Knock Knock, is important. I think it's like actually a build that you shouldn't like pass up. I think it's really good. If you're good at like constantly farming and you have your ult up all the time, it makes a huge difference, especially as Zapdos. Saving your ult. You saw, I think it was that third to last match we played against the overseas 3 stacks. There were a lot of them tonight actually, and that ult, because the Decidueye was in the bush, we didn't kill him. We killed 2 other people, but he ulted like as soon as that was happening, and everybody was just getting bursted down. Like, it was just good. His ult is good now. It didn't used to be good because the damage just didn't like justify the means, right? Like, I got it and then I'm ulting them. I'm at long reach range. My passive should be activating, but it still wasn't like impactful enough. Now the buff on it is very important. I think he probably got one of the best buffs in the game, in my opinion. And he's still like not even super good, but it's good. I think the way you have to play him is fun. There's no way you can run from. Yeah. You definitely kind of get bursted down, or if you get Spirit Shackled, and he's just constantly ticking you. And I don't see a lot of people do this, but it just makes sense, right? Abuse the auto aim. Like, if you Spirit Shackle somebody and you start attacking them, Spirit Shackle again. You don't even have to aim it. It does hella damage still, even when it's up close, and you might just kill them for it. But that's usually like the 1v2 scenario. Somebody's low. You get the pick on somebody else, and then you get to like hit them with another Spirit Shackle. They're close. So using Spirit Shackle with close range is actually, I want to see it more. I do it often, and it works. Sometimes you can win team fights or save yourself. And he just, I do also, I'm at literally like 30 seconds, but I think he gets countered by so many characters because he's a glass cannon. Talonflame destroys him. Talonflame is probably his hardest counter in the game because if she jumps on you, you're straight up dead. Like, there's nothing you can do. Even with eject button, she just has so much of the matchup. Lucario can just decimate you really quick. If you get knocked up by Aegislash, you're dead most of the time. Duraludon, you get hit like 3 times. If he has Dragon Pulse, you're dying. Like, there's so many of these scenarios. But yeah, caught it. There's so many scenarios. He's good. Top of B. I think he's strong, but I do think he needs the team. He can't solo like a lot of things, but he can make. He's a playmaking character. He can make things happen, for sure, for sure. And next we have our last ranged attacker. I don't know if I don't know if Trevenant is an attacker. Should we check? I kind of want to talk about Trevenant, but I don't know. I think he's like just a melee. He's a defender. Okay, cool. That's good. Thank you. Yeah. I was just wondering. Where is Machamp though? Is Machamp an attacker? Okay, he's all right. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad. I just want to make sure because I couldn't remember if he was just all rounder or not. If you're a melee, you're just all rounder by default. That's weird. But anyway, yeah, my main currently Duraludon. Easy. Character's broken still. Like I know he got the nerf he deserved. When he came out and Dragon Pulse was destroying literally anything in sight. I was like, this shit needs to be hotfixed. This is actually insane. Yeah, let me look. Let me turn the 5 minutes on before this gets any more lengthy. But I still think Duraludon is the best character in the game. His utility, his team fighting is too important. It's too important. He needs to be at almost every fight. If he's not farming and trying to get his ult, he needs to be at the fight. Like, Duraludon is the playmaker. The Revolving Ruin, whatever you call it, his ultimate is so good. Like, it's so good. It literally shuts down positions. And listen, that's not even the best part about the ult. The best part about the ult is, he needs to be nerfed a little more. Because of this specific bug right here that I'm about to mention, that I don't see anyone talking about for some reason, it still blows my mind. When you get interrupted with your ult, only Duraludon in the game has this. When you get interrupted, you get the move speed and the attack speed. You literally get to ult again. It's insane. He is still the best Pokemon. I can't put him any lower. I was thinking about it the whole time, and then I was playing him, and I was like, all right, this is great. Focus Flash Cannon with literally red buff is disgusting. Dragon Pulse is still just an objective securing move. It's insane how his presence literally, I know y'all saw it too, when I was getting literally jumped on by the freaking Talonflame, by the Dragonite, by the freaking, Lucario, because you need to kill him. If you don't kill him at Zapdos, most of the, like 80% of the time, you're not taking Zapdos because he's alive. Because he can put the fire there and it ticks fast. It ticks so quickly. And then I run him with X speed, but because I think the more damage you're doing, the greater. He just benefits from killing people. That's usually why I'm running him, not scoring a lot, which he probably needs to score. Obviously, yeah, every Pokemon needs to score, but he really doesn't have to. If he's winning the team fights, he will literally open up positions for you. If he pushes with Rotom, you have to deal with him if he has ult, because it's gonna steamroll out of hand really fast. I think Duraludon is the priority target. If you are playing as Duraludon, get him out of here. Like, this is problematic. And he's even good with like Focus Band. He's even good with X Speed, Full Heal. I don't know if Full Heal is like super good because he's really slow, but he benefits from he can run Score Comp too because he doesn't have damage to where you have to move away from him or he's gonna kill you. Like, most of the time, he just has the presence to do it. Number 1 Pokemon right now. I do think he is the character that is solo queuable and still top tier. That is my man. That is my man, my plan, and he still keeps my food cold when I need it. He's the man. In my opinion, the Green Bird, Red Bird duo. Yeah, I do. I do think Decidueye does counter him really hard. I think not really hard, but it's a good counter. He can outrange him, damage him safely. His Decidueye's presence is important for a Duraludon matchup, and I think that's why I saw it, and I think that's why I was like paying attention to it so hard. Nemesis versus Blossom, if y'all watched that in the March finals, but it was such like. And even Counterpick, I still think he gets bought by a few people. Like, people get jumping on him. He doesn't have a lot of health, and that's important, because you can definitely, like, burst him. You can burst him and it's good, but he can also, like, burst you back if he has the means. Yeah. If he pushes you to the wall, oh my, it sucks. Like, he just has so much range. All of his moves are so good. Stealth Rock is so good. If you stand in it, you get literally stunned. The Dragon Tail knocks you up and gives him better positioning, and Flash Kidding with Dragon Tail is probably one of the better things to run right now. But Dragon Pulse is still broken. It's still great. I do think he needs to be countered hard. Like, especially if you're going in a team where you know who they're playing, like, it's definitely important to, like, know if they have a Duraludon or not. Or just prepare for it. I think he can run. He can run the game. He can also be bad. I've seen a few bad Duraludons. I've been a bad Duraludon as well, so you know I know the whole scroll. But it's great. I literally have 40 seconds. So what else? I think the best thing to run on him is Muscle Band, Muscle Band, Scope Lens, and Buddy Barrier. He benefits too hard from getting the shield, and literally if you get to live, you literally get the whole. I cannot stress that bug enough because they need to fix it. You get the whole shield. You get all the move speed and all the attack speed. It's literally an X attack for free, and you still have your ult. Like, it's that bug alone makes him like such a great team fighter. Like, if he is doing damage, he is healing off crits. He is destroying people. If he picks one person off your opponent, y'all literally lose position sometimes and just have to like back out. If y'all are not bursting him down, because thank you. If he is living, the team is usually winning. So his priority target, number one right here, Duraludon, amazing, still amazing. My number one in the current meta, easily solo killable, easily can run multiple things. I think I've seen him with Muscle Band, and it's kind of strong. It's I think the crits, he benefits a little more from crits, because the surprisingly killing someone is like, you know, they'll go in on you, blah blah. But if they know you're scoring over and over again, they'll try to decimate you early. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep my rants to 5 minutes, because I already knew I was gonna burst off when Duraludon came up. I think that's all the ranged attackers at the moment. So now we'll go into the speedsters, the junglers, the great. And we'll start with the first one, Gengar. Alright, listen. I'm very biased because of these last few games I've been playing today. Hold on. Before I need to place them first, right? Sorry. I put Gengar like A tier. I think he's that strong. My Duraludon Lance, oh my god. 10 minutes easy. 10 minutes before someone hopefully stops me. And that's at the minimum. I could talk about Duraludon so much. I love that character. He's easily my current main at the moment. He's great. But yeah, I think now we're speedsters. These are usually the junglers. I think all speedsters just are so strong in the jungle. And I think, 5 minutes started. I think Gengar has been coming up. And it's because of that base to the special attack buff. Oh my god. Yes, speedsters are next. I think Gengar that buff was nice. And you know what it is nice for? It's nice for the triple specs build. Oh my lord. Let me tell you. He can run multiple things too. Like, he can run a score comp. He can sneak goals. He's great. He's fast. And his ult literally makes him invisible. So if you aren't paying attention to the little purple flame on top of your head and he just jumps up, you're probably dying. You're probably dying if you don't either have your ult or something defensive that you can do. Yes, that's literally what I was about to talk about. We literally played against a Japanese group Gengar. And he added me. Oh my god. He added me too. And I was like, nah, I don't want it. It's fine. But I think Gengar with triple specs is probably doing the most burst damage in the game right now. I think he is so strong, but I also think he is so squishy. I think he can also get bursted down if he's not getting out when he needs to, or like pushing advantage, right? Like you have your abilities up. Who can I kill right now? Like let's walk around. Let me try to kite them, walk, like Drake bait them in. Oh, he got too close. Literally, Dream Eater, Shadow Ball, teleport, you're dead. Like it's that fast. Like he's one shotting people. We were playing against. I can't. It was our teammate. Our teammate Charizard literally just ulted. He killed somebody. The Gengar was there. He has half health and a shield. Gengar, I don't know what I think he ulted and he one shot him. He one shot him in his ult. I was like, what just happened? Like I thought Charizard was there and he literally vanished. He's evaporating people. If you aren't focusing him or like dealing with him, at least putting him at low health to where he has to get out, this character can steamroll games. Like I think he is secret hitter. I also think that in that same game I'm talking about where he one shot the Charizard, he was running Float Stone because he was moving so fast out of combat. Like I swear, when we weren't fighting the Gengar, he was running up top. All of a sudden, he's ulting the Pikachu at the bottom, the bottom bush in Zapdos. And I was like, what? How would he get there that fast? Like, Float Stone is actually like impactful if you know how to use it right, or if you know how to just get out of combat. It's scary. Like Gengar is a scary character to play against sometimes. He is godlike. I think he is godlike, but I do think his squishiness limits him from being higher than that. I think I'll put him like right at the cusp, like right 6 for the top of A tier, because I think if he gets bursted, like if Cinderace Blaze kicks him, he's most likely dead if he didn't waste his ult. He has to waste a resource to either survive or get out, like, or have to stop the Cinderace. Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy, dude. Baby boy, yeah. A Spirit Ball. Oh yeah. That's it's Dream Eater actually. Then when he throws it at you, it puts you to sleep, and he gets teleported behind you, and his reappearance does burst. His does burst, because damage is an understatement. He's killing you most of the time. 1v1s with Gengar is not safe. Even with Duraludon, even with your Ninja, it's not safe. Like you are probably dead if you don't use a resource or flash out. This character is deleting people. And that buff I think made it worse because of special attack specs. If he's scoring constantly, you just be prepared to get jumped on. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I tried not to ramble. I have 1 minute. But I think that buff did him justice, and now you can run a lot of more things on him and a lot of like all-out attack builds, and still good. And he's still good with like the normal stuff like Score Shield, the goal the score comp bot obviously, but Score Shield, choice specs, and then whatever other third item you want to run. He can run multiple things and still be fine, even in lane and in jungle. He benefits heavy from an XP lead. So if this character gets fed, oh my god. As far as solo queue goes, like solo maining him, I think he is. You can solo main him. I think he's fine, but I do think he needs to like kind of play around what the team is doing. Because if y'all are getting bodied, like he can only do so much. He can do like a few picks, but after a while he needs that cooldown time to like reset his abilities and then jump back into the fight. I think he's like a really like hit and run style character, but he excels at it. It's really really good. He's definitely like the speedster that like comes to mind when I think of the class. That is my opinion on Greninja. Gengar. Let's go. Back to attackers. Next attacker, Absol. Right behind them. I think Absol is crazy. Dude, I know. I want to buy him too. Gengar looks so fun. He looks like a good Pokemon to play. I have invested in him only because I don't know. We'll get to my. For those of you who don't know, if y'all didn't say it already, Clefairy is going to be our Azumarill, because Azumarill hasn't been released yet, but she is being released this Thursday on April 7th. It's going to be a big thing, man. I'm excited. But Absol herself, I think, is good. I think is very solid, very strong, and is a jungler. I think she is like her, Zeraora, Gengar, and Talonflame, you know, all of the speedsters obviously are the premier junglers, and then you have the attackers. I think anybody in Triple S can literally jungle and be amazing. But I think she's a really good jungler. I don't know if you guys know like player names. Oh yeah, see, yeah, the time difference. I keep forgetting it. I'm sorry, Santiano. Why are you Filipinos great? That's great. I love you. I love you because you are that. And I love that you're a part of Sauce Club. But yeah, Absol, her crit damage because of her passive is so. It's so. She's a playmaking character too. Where like if you get jumped on, she can chase. She can actually like super chase her targets. Pursuit is gross, and I think it slows you. I mean, maybe she's just out of jungle with the red buff, but all her moves are good. Night Slash is strong as hell. Sucker Punch, if you're using an ability, you kind of can just like mash it and still interrupt them, but she stuns you for using an ability with Sucker Punch. It's a really strong move, and if if the Absol just has good knowledge of the game, like this person I'm about to talk about right now, they can steamroll out of control, and you just have to hope you burst her down. I will say it's kind of hard for her to get away. I think it's like she probably one of her best items is X speed because she needs to be able to get out. She needs to have an escape, or most of the time she'll kill like 2 people, and if y'all don't burst her down immediately, she gets to like kill and she has her ult. Her offensive presence sometimes can't be ignored. Like she just goes hard. She literally goes hard on kills. She's a chase instigator and she's a isolator. If she catches you in a 1v1, those crits are killing you. Like there's a dude that I played like multiple times when I was leveling up the smartphone that I'm on right now, and his name is Hamburgess. I don't know if y'all have seen him. It looks like hamburgers, but the last 3 letters are like jumbled up. But he's an Absol main, and oh my god, I've never seen any Absol player get fed as fast as he does. Like he goes, it feels like he just kills the whole lane and then just goes back to farming. But he plays the jungle role so well. I think she's just a strong jungler. And she's invading you, oh my god, I haven't seen it yet, but I hope she doesn't invade. If she does invade, I hope your teammates are like have the presence of mind to rotate to you, because if she kills you and you get into the XP gap, oh my god, it is so hard to catch up to her. And if she ults, you're not killing her. If she ults, she has full invincibility, all these hits, oh my god, she has the attack speed, move speed, oh my god. This character is a steamroller character, but she does get shut down by early pressure. I think if you outlane her, outplay them, try to, or just play really safe at the goal and then try to get a pick on her, she does. She has to like be out of the fights a lot to farm up, because she needs to have her ult. She needs to have the XP advantage. She needs Dreadnought early. Like if her team doesn't get Dreadnought early, she kind of struggles, and that's why I think she's like right here. I think she like is slightly worse than Gengar, because sometimes Gengars can just steamroll with kills. Even though you don't get Zapdos, if he gets enough, if they keep farming enough, and you can say that about all the Pokemon, right? Like, she excels. She excels in like killing people. Like and team fights are so incredibly important to win. Like a lot of the game just will steamroll like how well you can team fight with the Absol in lane. Or I've seen Absol in lane, and it's fine, it's good, but I do think she needs to steal farm. If she's not stealing farm, you can't really like play super safe with her. Because if she doesn't get her abilities quick enough, she kind of gets bursted down by Ninetales. I think Ninetales is a hard counter for her. Because if she gets frozen, she's kind of just dead. Like, if she doesn't have an escape or if she doesn't have flash. Like, she gets jumped on really hard. Duraludon can easily, like, outlane her. He has enough range. She kind of has to, like, poke him, like, really hard. Hope she gets out if she's not killing him immediately. That's what I think. I think when I play against Absols, it's a struggle. It is such a struggle. But as long as you're doing good early game, she doesn't get to like have as much fun. But she is still strong. She's still strong. She can still steal objectives. She can still press you. She can pursuit you, and you think you're gonna get away, and you're like, no. And you see the little arrows, and you're just like, you just hope and pray, hope she doesn't kill you. But I think her best items, I think her best build, actually, in my opinion, is like all the attack items. Like I think Muscle Band, Scope Lens, and Razor Claw. I think if I'm playing her, that's what I'm running on her. Oh, thank you. Sorry for scared y'all. I try to limit myself 5 minutes, but that was good. I think Absol just benefits from crits. If she's getting crits, she's farming. If she's farming, she's good, and she gets to steamroll hard. But if she can't steamroll early, then she does become a little less than what her full potential is. But she's still a really good pick. That's why I put her like at the bottom of A. She's great. Absol's good. I would. I don't think she's super solo mainable, but you know, the guy I mentioned earlier, Hamburgess, is definitely a really good Absol player, and I think it can be done. But you definitely have to know when to rotate, have to know when to team fight, and have to know when to get out. I think it's important to like understand how to team fight with her and like either excel or like get bopped. Like that's really like her only caveat. But I think she is I think she's a really strong player, character, Mon. You know, speedster, Talonflame. All right, I was waiting for this one mainly because of you, Santiago, but because I am very. This is my controversial opinion. I think I don't think Talonflame early is good, but I think late Talonflame is broken. I think this character, oh my god, it's similar to Absol, but multi-purpose. This character can do so many things. She can literally gap close. Literally has so many gap closers. Fly. Literally is invincible. Comes down whenever she wants. If the situation benefits you, if not, get out. Like you have so many options when she becomes Talonflame. I will say that I think she's my bottom S tier, but it's because the early game is really hard. I don't think Talonflame is good in lane, but I think it's possible. But I think you just have to like eyeball your acrobatics cooldown and just like play it well, because Peck isn't doing good damage. Like it's just auto attack damage, but it's good because it's like it's 3 consecutive hits. It's good. It's fine when you start. But I do think Talonflame can run multiple things. This character is great. It's great. In jungle, it's so amazing. You get jumped up by Talonflame, you're dying most of the time. Like, it's so good. I think almost all her abilities give her a boosted auto attack. I know Aerial Ace does. Flame Charge does as well. Maybe it's just her second abilities. Sometimes Fly doesn't feel like it does, but I think it does. I just haven't played it enough to like know. But I know how good that move is. Talonflame is probably the most notorious Pokemon for stealing objectives. Like, oh my god. And she can get out. If she has her ult, you just use your ability. If the whole team is there, you can literally get out or kill somebody else. And the ult, I mean, I will say this. This is why she's my bottom of the S tier. I think the ult is not what I thought it was. I thought that when I was playing it, yeah, Fly is stupid as hell. I think Fly is super good. Like that, I hate it. And this is another thing. Her items, she can run whatever she wants. You can run a score comp, which I think is probably her strongest skill, to be honest. Being able to like score at a moment's notice is so important. She can get to the goal faster than any character in the game. Like it's crazy. If you didn't burst her down, she's flying away, and you have to like go so far out of position if you're chasing her, and it's oh my god. And then, but if you dodge her ult, I do think that she either has her approaching you without her abilities is probably her worst position. I think it's I'm trying to think how would I say it? She is a harasser, but like as long as she has like Fly, Brave Bird, right? Like I think her first abilities is bonkers good. But once she runs out of those, if she can't get away from you and she's used all her resources, she's probably one of the most vulnerable characters in the game too. But I think her presence and attack strength strong. I think crits on her go great in hand. I think Goal Getter, Score Shield, Float Stone as well, because Float Stone also triggers when you're flying, so it makes Fly move faster, and that's a big thing. Because if your opponent just ulted has to get away, you can still jump on them if you have the right build or if you have waited just long enough, ulted long enough. But and that's what another thing. Another bad thing I think about Talonflame's ult is that you get caught. You get caught on like the edge of barriers, and it's bad. If you hit someone and if they're just slightly off and you don't hit them into the wall for the extra damage, they're getting like pushed, and then they're just like, okay, well now I have to like wait for my ability to come up if I already used it. Yeah. Your timing is so. I think like Talonflame might be one of the highest skill characters in the game too, because knowing how the flow of the game can work, knowing how the flow of team fights, are you winning, are you losing, you really have to pick your spots like really hard. Like that's important. Like I think you can really like I think you can really do a lot with her. But also I think if you aren't playing well with her, I think she can be a lot worse than how good she can be. Her lows are lower than her highs, but her highs are really good. And that's my controversial pick, probably in the whole game. And I can't wait to see y'all think my fourth is. Because I'm probably only gonna put top five, like 5 people in S. But I do have another character that I think is stupid broken, and we're almost there. We're almost there. Oh, nice! I got 20 seconds left. Okay, cool. That was fine. But I do think Talonflame is a multi-purpose character. I do think Talonflame is also a solo character. I think if you learn the game with Talonflame, you have like a more advantage of the solo like mindless team fight. I think Ninetales, even though I love her, is kind of mindless, but in a good way, right? Like as long as you're like benefiting the team in some way, like it's great. But I think Talonflame is a decision-making character and a playmaker. I'm like a mid Talonflame because I'm not gonna say I'm bad, but I'm not good either. A very humble opinion, dude. Yeah. Oh yeah, you'll see. We gotta get there. I don't want to spoil it. It's gonna be fun. My last speedster is Zero Aura. Listen. I love Zero Aura. Since Zero Aura was actually one of the first like missions I did, I think I really have a soft spot for this character. I don't think he's super good, but I think he's an interesting pick for me. I think he is almost just as bad as Decidueye. That's what I think. I think this character steamrolls slightly well, but I think I didn't really realize it, like, take it for granted until I like watched a whole bunch of videos, watched people playing Zero Aura, and then and then when I started playing him back myself, and I was like, okay, you have to get like level 10 to get your roll, like what's that? Like that's kind of ugly, and like I think his lows are just too low. Like, if you're not benefiting from everything you can get, Wild Charge got buffed, which is great. But his main thing got nerfed with just Discharge, which is slows, AoE. He gets to jump in with Volt Switch. I still think that's his strongest build, to be honest. I'm biased, probably. Because I've seen people do so well with Spark Wild Charge. I think Wild Charge Spark is really, really good, too. Yeah. I do think that. I think he got power crept by how strong the jungle is now. Like I think once Greninja, Greninja's kind of always been there, but once Duraludon got added, it hurt him a lot because approaching Duraludon is such a chore. Like it's such a chore. If you're just not ready, you don't have the buff, if you're not fed, if you don't have enough damage to do him, if your team is not with you, sometimes you're not even killing Duraludon without Wild Charge. Like you have to play so well. I think he is a high scat character too, but I think he's just so hard to make work. But I do think he's good. I think he's good. He's fine. His ult is really strong. He gets the attack speed. It's great. I'm sure his ult does something else other than burst you, but that burst is really strong too. And so if they're fed, they just get to like steamroll really hard. But if you get kited, listen, this is why I think he's really, really bad. Because Duraludon, all the top tiers, Talonflame jumps on you, you're dead. Pikachu stuns you, you're dead. Ninetales freezes you, you're dead. Oh my god. You get attack shrunk by freaking Sylveon, you're dead. Absolutely, I've gotten bursted so many times by literally random stuff. Like, what was it? Even Avalanche. I think Avalanche Blizzard is a really good counter if they don't like instantly land their Wild Charge. The reason why I'm holding Wild Charge in such a high regard is because if you don't get the invincibility, you're just there, and if you're taking damage, you're dead. Like, he is squishy as hell too. It sucks. And having to like work so hard for levels and farm so much, like he's probably like one of the hardest junglers to like learn and like be good with, I think. So like I like one of my teammates, Project, he's really good because he started playing Zero Aura, so he was kind of like he already knew like how bad he was. But he just played the game over and over again, and then he just ran a score comp. Zero Aura can also run a score comp, and it's good on him. I think Score Shield, he benefits a lot from scoring. So I think he can run like Muscle Band something. Crashy actually made a bit. It was a build video about him, and he's like weakness policy with the Energy Amp. I think Energy Amp is good on him too. But I do think like if you are not team fighting correctly, it's curtains. Like you don't get to play the game most of the time. Like you don't have like a good range option that you can just like throw out really nilly that isn't discharged. You don't have to like get out on people. You can teleport onto people and you can like get a quick kill. But if you aren't playing, that's another thing. Like if you just aren't team fighting correctly, like it's so like you notice. Like it's hard to notice like when a Talonflame is like super bad, a Cinderace is bad, a Greninja's bad, a Pikachu's bad. But when a Zero Aura is bad, like it's noticeable. Like he gets blown up so easily. But if he's bursting correctly and you're team fighting good, it's great. He gets to steamroll a little bit, but I don't think he steamrolls harder than any other. I don't even think he steamrolls harder than Decidueye. I think Spirit Shackle steamrolls way harder than anything that he can like really like constantly pull off in a team fight and do constantly like as Zapdos. He can secure Zapdos pretty easy though. I think late game he's good. I think late game he does what he does and he does it well, but you know not as good as like all these other people. Oh snap! I'm sorry, Super. I didn't see your comment. Like you playing against Greninja. Yeah. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, it's just like he's just there, right? Like if he's not doing like super good damage or has like a specific build that can maximize his damage or opportunity cost, like I just feel like it's too much to like give up playing Zero when you could just play we could literally just play Duraludon. You could play Cinderace in jungle. She's so easy and it's amazing how strong she is. It's amazing how strong she is. And okay. Oh yeah, that was 20 seconds. That was cool. And the main reason I only I went that hard because I do think he can do well. I think this character is a high skill cap character. And I think once you master him, it gets great, and it only gets better once you learn the game with like a lower end character. It just goes out of your control, but in a good way, you know. That's my take on Zero. I think he's fun, but I think he's like right in the middle of B tier, and it's great. Now we're gonna go to Defenders. I love Defenders. First we have Snorlax. I think Snorlax. I think he's B as well. But I don't think. Do I think he's a little better than Zero Aura? Yes. And the reason for it is because he's such a good team fighter. His position, he might be better than this actually. I do hold this words. I hold Snorlax in a high regard because of his presence in the team fight, right? His presence in objective situations. He can literally block you off. Like, you know, you've seen it a while. Like, he'll do block, hold the corridor, and you literally can't get past him if you don't have a teleport or flash. Block is such a good controlling move. He has a lot of CC too. Like that's just one of them. Yawn is really good. It puts you to sleep, and if he doesn't attack you, it puts you to sleep for a good minute, like a good 2 seconds, and it's gross. Snorlax early game is actually pretty good. Tackle is strong. It depends on what they're running, right? Like he can also run score comp. I think he's a really good score comper too because he can live. If he run, block X speed is a really good combination too, because you can push. If you have good team synergy. I do think he is a good solo queue Pokemon, and I think you can main him and get away with a lot of stuff. It had to come out. I apologize, but I do think it's also like important to know like when you need to get out. He doesn't have like He doesn't have like strong like super like flail is good for like finishing people off, but like once you ult, your ult's not doing a lot. Your ult is like that good knockup. It heals you. But I will say, because they nerfed the healing on it, the healing used to be broken. Like, actually, like, before they nerfed the healing, he was getting full health every time on top of the shield. Like, I used to hate Snorlax a little bit. Because he's a controller. He controls the flow of the match, like, the flow of the game sometimes. Like, you can't just run up to the goal. And if he has people that are stacked with him, if y'all are coordinating well enough, this has literally happened to me. We were fighting at the team fight. Gardevoir just ulted. I think we killed at least 2 people. And then Greninja is smoke screened, comes behind us, swerves us all. We're kind of like at like 75% health. And then he literally pushes us into Greninja's ult, and we all died. Like, it was actually like so good. I think Snorlax is that's the best way I can put him. Like, he's a really good defender. it's sometimes might be hard to get around him and it might be hard to kill him. But if y'all all burst, if your whole team bursts him down, he is dying. Like if he's not getting out, he's dying most of the time. He's really slow. His move speed is important. It's important to take note. He cannot run away from you very, very quickly unless he has X speed, unless he has flash, unless he's close to the goal and ults and uses that move speed to run away. And even then, he might still get bursted if y'all have the right team comp to just make that happen. Like he's a full committal, but when he commits, it's good. Body slam can also, I mean heavy slam. Heavy slam can also steal objectives. He can also steal objectives really well. Tackle can steal farm early in the. I think he's like really good early game, to be honest. Rest, even though he can't move like Snorlax, he can't cancel it. He gets a lot of healing, and if he gets to live, if he boosted attacks you, you get knocked up, and it's no, he not boosted attack, but if he tackles to body slam, that's his boosted attack. You're taking a lot of damage, and if you're getting CC'd and don't have an option to get out, most of the time he's securing a kill on you with his teammate, his lane partner or whatever. I don't think he can jungle though. I wouldn't put him on jungle, but I definitely would put him on score shield. I think him scoring, he benefits so heavily from scoring. If he gets to live in any case, he might just get away from you if you can't burst him down quick enough, and he gets the healing and he needs to just go. It's kind of gross. But this character's good. I think Snorlax is good, but I do think he has a hard time getting away from people like Absol, Duraludon sometimes. I think if Duraludon has a red buff, I think it's hard to get away from Duraludon jungle. And he just takes a lot of damage, but he can soak up a lot of damage too. Like he's definitely a tank, controlling tank. That's what I'll put him if I had to put his playstyle in a name. But character's nice. Next defender, Crustle. Crusty. I think this character is bomb. I think Crustle is so good. So I don't know how many of y'all have played the game like before they took crits away from X Scissor, but let me tell you something. I'm a little biased. That move is cracked. X Scissor is disgusting. That move alone give him so much CC. Listen, I'm not discounting. I'm not discounting the positional control that you have from what is the little rock wall thing he does? I can't remember what it is. I don't know what the move is called. I can't think of it right now, but it's bad. Like I don't think you could use it over X Scissor or Shell Smash or Stealth Rock. They buff Stealth Rock too, so Stealth Rock is really strong. I think securing goals and defending goals with Stealth Rock is super important because of how much damage it does. And on top of how much damage he can do, and on top of how versatile his character is. Listen, this is Baby Greedent. I won't say anything more because I'll wait for my opinion. I think this character is nice. I think this character can do so many things. I don't know if you guys have played this guy, but his first thing in his name is UFO. He is a little holiday Crustle, and he runs level 30 Aeos Cookie, level 30 Score Shield, Goal Getter, and Muscle Bam. That dude is living forever. Oh my, Buddy Barrier. He literally runs Buddy Barrier. It's not Muscle Bam, but it's insane. Like the amount of shield and CC this character has on top of. Why in the world is Shell Smash unstoppable with you not reducing this character's defense? What is going on? That move breaks the game. It is insane how many times Crustle just gets away and gets to harass you, and you can't do anything because literally Shell Smash makes him cracked. He literally gets to run away for free sometimes. And if you chase him into his team, he's literally gonna CC you. If you get hit by exit, no, wait. Let me first come back a little bit. So they did take the crits away from X Scissor, so it doesn't crit anymore. Because when it critted, it was killing. And on top of the second best thing about X Scissor was that it used to crit. They took it away, so now it's only one good thing. But this good thing is a really, really, really good thing. If he X Scissors you onto the wall, X Scissor, there you go. Oh Lord. If he X Scissors you onto a barrier or anything, you're stunned. You're stunned for like a whole second. It has wall damage. I don't know why. Like, this character is great. I think Crustle is good. I think Crustle can run a score comp, be so obnoxious, and just get away with it. Like, if y'all don't have the burst to listen, The reason why I pointed this UFO guy out specifically is because I literally lost a team fight because this man scored so many times in the beginning and had so much health. So when he came to that goal and he ulted and he buddy barriered, I'm telling you, when I tell you I was X-Attack Cinderace and I ulted this man and attacked him, he still scored 100 at the main goal. I was like, how is this fair? Like, that shield was so insane. Oh my, it's still, that was the first time, that was pretty early. But that was the first time in Ultimate that I was actually just so upset. I was like, what could I have done? Literally, I think it was a Ninetales that came. We both started attacking him, and we couldn't get through the shield. I will say this: I do think this character is caveated with if you don't do well early, he gets a little flimsy. Like you get to burst him down sometimes, and he has to get out. And if he doesn't get out, he's getting like blown up, which is good. It's good because that's his only caveat. If the Crustle is playing well, the potential is limitless. He can run a score comp. He can literally run an attack build too and do so much damage. Stealth Rock scales off of his attack, which blows my mind. So if he's running Muscle Band and you get Stealth Rocks into X Scissor, most of the time, dude, you're dead. Like, most of the time you're actually just straight up dead, dog. It's gross. I'm sorry. I try not to go like super hard in it, but dude, this character is nasty. Like a good Crustle. Oh Lord, there was a bug just ran past me. Hold on. Where did it go? I don't know. I'm gonna chill. But I do think this character is cracked. I think Crustle is like a sleeper character, and like in good comps, easily solo queuable. I think this character can run so many builds and just be a threat. Like I will. The only reason I'm not putting him higher is because his presence isn't like super scary. Like you can kind of get away with like destroying him like a Duraludon. Like that's what, if I see the Crustle, I'm usually hard going in, committing, trying to kill him early, because if you don't, he literally gets to run around for free, and I don't know how you're gonna stop him. Like the whole team has to focus him, and if you're focusing on the Crustle and he's got a score comp build, he's running away and distracting you while the team is scoring. Like this character is like low key broken. Like the only reason I'm capping him right here is because I'm not trying to be super biased, but I do think I've had experience with the character too, and I've dropped him, but I still think he's really good. I still think not many people talk about how good Crustle is. And the only reason he's like not used is because Greedent literally does his thing, but better. Like sometimes the nerf was really good for Greedent, so we'll get there. Thank you for listening to my TED Talks about Crustle. It's been a good time. We're gonna keep going with the defenders. Next is Wigglytuff. Character is broken. I think this character is so annoying to lane against. I think one of the other big things that make Wigglytuff as good as she is Q-Charm. I think Q-Charm is probably the most annoying passive, in my opinion, in the game. Listen, okay. I know y'all know how like the AoE works for like who is a good like example of like how fair of Auroraville, right? You know how there's the ring of Auroraville. That's the same ring as Q-Charm's proc chance. There's 30% chance if you are attacking near her, not attacking near her, the passive activates and you walk toward her for like half a second. When I tell you how there have been so many interactions that I have lost because... Oh, I see it. Go somewhere. Get out of here. I don't know what this boy is. It looks like a grasshopper mixed with... Go, please. I don't want no trouble. I don't like killing anything. That's just not me. Death in any way is terrible, in my opinion. But anyway, enough about me. On to this character. It broke my whole concentration. But Wigglytuff's great. I think Wigglytuff is a really good laner too. I think in lane she's really like She gets to like have fun, kind of. It feels like she can run a score comp too. Her ult in a team fight is disgusting. Oh my god, I cannot tell you how many times I have lost because literally their whole team is coming. Wigglytuff just ulted and they just have just enough. There's not enough people. Somebody got picked off and they just get to score us for free because our unstoppable is just that good. Wigglytuff is actually really good. Like, I think she's like super good in lane. Wigglytuff Ninetale is probably like one of the best lane like teams to run into. And you just sometimes you just can't kill her. Sometimes she just gets away. All her builds are good. Like rollout, if she knows the angles of the barricades, you literally get 0 to death because you get knocked up the whole time. And she can use it as an escape. It's uninterruptible unless you have like a bounding move. And we'll get to that because I'm almost to Slowbro, and Slowbro is important. I think Slowbro is a really important character too. But yeah, it's important. It's important to know how to deal with her, and it's important to get her down early. But I think even if her team does bad, they get one pick and they get like a little bit of catch up EXP, and then they just do well. They just do well. She can score. She can make winning game scores. She can take Zapdos, putting people to sleep, and just like her Dazzling Gleam is good too. It'll stop you in a little area of effect, and then it hits, and like it does good CC. She is one of the. I hate Wigglytuff on Focus Band, but I do think it's one of the best things to run on her. I think she benefits from surviving. Like, she really, like, sometimes if she steals farm, you can't really like clap back sometimes. Double slap early is really strong. Like, it's really strong. Like, it does really good damage. I think she's like leaps and bounds good. I really like think she's almost like a must pick on like a competitive team because she benefits the team so much. Putting people to sleep. Another thing that's really annoying that if you haven't experienced it, I hope you don't, but you probably will at some point. She's singing in the bush you're standing next to. There's no sound cue. There's literally no sound cue. And you get slept. You just see the music notes. I'm like, oh my god, what's happening? I need to run away. She's already walking toward me super fast, and then I'm slept, and then the whole team blows me up. Like, she sets people up for getting kills. She sets people up for scores. Like, it's really... I think, another character I hold in high regard. I think Wigglytuff is strong. I think Wigglytuff is really strong, especially right now. If she can protect Duraludon, I think her and Duraludon are a good duo, too. This character can do a lot of things. She's a little slow, like her normal speed, but when she ults, like, character's cracked. When she's hitting you, when she puts you to sleep, character's cracked. Her offensive pressure is really strong, actually, because like if she hits you, I think Dazzling Gleam, with Sing is probably like a good set, but you really can run anything on her, and she can be as tanky as hell. She can run a score build. She can even run an attack build. Like, she's strong. I do think though. I think Double Slap Plus is kind of like bad a little bit. It's not as good as I wanted. I don't know. It feels like it's Double Slap. The 1-2 is more impactful. I do think that. I think that it matters. It matters a lot with her specifically, right? I think she benefits from being her. Dude, yeah. It's never just her. They jump on you, she set you up for a kill, and you're just dead. I hate the sound of it. She's walking toward me, trying to make her, debut for her album. I'm just like, I don't want it. You stay away from me. I hate it. Wigglytuff is strong. I think she's really good. I think she's also a solo mental pick. I do think she benefits the team at worst. I think she benefits the team so well that she can kind of just do whatever she wants, and as long as she's there, yeah. I feel like it does. Sing makes her, I think, is it like 0.75% faster? She's moving when she's singing. Like, you're running for dear life, dude. Yeah. That's definitely a thing. All right, let me take a water break real quick. I need to get some more water. we're doing defenders, right? Wait. First of all, I messed up. Wigglytuff is actually, I think she's a defender. I think she's a support though. Hang on. I think she's a support. I think she classifies as support. Excuse me. I know I have Wigglytuff. Yeah, she's a support. So I apologize. I kind of like went off, but she is. I feel like she's a defender too. She can really do whatever she wants. This character is good. We could take turns because I still want to go into defenders. The next defender is Blastoise. Whoo! Blastoise, good, solid. I think he's a little bit of a playmaker. I think he's like probably. Oof! He's right in front of me. Hello. Get out of here. Go. What is that? I don't know what that is. Get out of here. Don't you got some food to eat somewhere? I've just vacuumed, so I hope not, but... Blastoise. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Gen 1. Water starter. This character... Oh, wait, let me switch it back. I'm sorry, I don't think I switched it back. So, yeah, Blastoise. My next one. I put him here. Blastoise. I put him, like, right in front of Sylveon, because I think... As far as like utility goes, I think he benefits from being on the team. His existence is a problem most of the time. Rapid Spin got so buffed. Now has offensive pressure consistently. Yes, man. Somebody follow me. I'm so sorry I didn't call you out because you're a god. I don't know who it is. I apologize. It went away. Oh. I'll look at it again and let you know. But thanks for following. I appreciate it. We're going through my tier list right now. What I think is Pokemon are. I think Blastoise is also solo mainable. I think Blastoise is in such a good position. I think I didn't realize how little Water Spout with his little spin thing does until they buffed it. And now I'm dying. He's spinning on me and I'm dying. I'm actually dying like the whole time. And you can run anything on him. You can run Surf to the water, what is it, Hydro Pump? I don't know what the water thing is called, but it's gross and it kills me and it pushes me and it CCs me. This character is literally, you cannot ignore him. He's another high priority target. When y'all are at Zapdos and he's fed, if he's not rapid spinning, if he's ulting, oh my god, you better be hope that you have a flash or a good distance. Because if you get knocked up, you are taking big damage. You are taking big damage and you are either getting blasted or rapid spin to death with on top of his team. Like I think he's notorious for stealing objectives too, getting Rotom to the goal because Surf is so much, it pushes insane. It literally pushes you like a whole second after he gets off of the water, and then he gets to combo you into Hydro Pump. Like that is so stupid, but it's strong as hell, and you can't ignore how strong it is. I have literally my jungler project, he actually plays him a lot. Yeah, I think this character is crazy. I think he's really, really strong. I probably will put him above Wigglytuff because not only can he really defend super hard, he can defend the goal super, super hard. He can score super, super hard. Sometimes you can't stop him from scoring. Like if he has just enough shield, he's scoring that goal. Like bro, Blastoise is. Wow, I think he's really important on the score comp too. I think I've played against only a few times, and I think people just don't run him as a score comp because you can just do so many other things. Like he can literally have score shield, muscle band, whatever, and then still do the same thing he does but almost better, or do more damage or just whatever. He can literally run almost any item in the game and just do well with it. I've seen Blastoise with Assault Vest. I've seen Blastoise with Float Stone. I've seen it. Boy, have you ever been Rapid Spin with Float Stone? Oh, you're dead. You can't get away from it. It's hitting me. It's slowing me. I'm crying. I'm calling my mom. I'm telling her I love her. I'm dead. It's so bad. It's bad in a good way. You can't get away from it. And it does good damage now. I still think that is so crazy. That was a really good buff to him. I think Blastoise is probably almost almost top tier. And the only reason I'm not putting him like super above Ninetales is because I feel like Ninetales and Pikachu, they have that delete factor. Like, I'm jumping on you, I'm deleting you. Sometimes, well, listen, I literally just, he's better than these characters. This is not close. He gets to live, he gets to get away, he gets to see. This character is low-key really, really strong. I agree with you, son. I was like, the more I talk about it, the more this character sounds so good. Like, it's just ridiculous. I'm so scared of him. I'm not scared of Pikachu. I know I can burst Pikachu down. I'm Decidueye. I see a Ninetales. I stay away. I hit her. I'm like, okay, maybe I can kill her. I see Blastoise, and I'm running. I'm not even trying to engage. I'm trying to do as much chip damage as I can, but if he jumps on me, I'm either flashing out, X-speeding away, or I'm literally running from him, because he has that factor. This character can do almost it all in the game. Hello, Fruit Fly. I love you. Yeah. So low key, the more I thought about it, I was like, this character kind of broken. And I know y'all hear my friends talking to me about how I say everything is broken, because once I played Smash Bros for the first time and I heard the term broken, I was like, what does that mean? He's like, yeah, it means it's just so good, it's broken, it shouldn't be in the game, blah blah, along those lines, right? I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, that's so. And so now it's a life thing now. This character is broken. I think Blastoise might be my top A. Like, I think he is my number one A tick. Like, A pick. Easily solo mainable. Like, he can do so many things. I feel like I see Blastoise anywhere. I see Blastoise still in my farm. I see Blastoise jungling. And it's disgusting. When Blastoise was released, oh my lord. Blastoise jungle was the best thing in the world. I was like, this is stupid. This is actually stupid. Not only is he out leveling us, he's out CCing us, he's stealing the objective, and he's ulting on. Like, it was, oh my god. Now shout out to the something so good that needs to be nurture fixed. I will say I overuse the term. I definitely do, but it's a term of endearment, right? I think he's so good. I don't think he's, I think he's slightly, like, really almost overtuned. But as long as y'all are bursting him down, like I talked about all the highlights, right? If you're bursting him down, he can be bursted down, but he needs to be bursted down like with almost like either 2 or 3 people. Sometimes he can like live and kill the person, and if you are in a 1v1 in him and he's still doing damage, he can benefit from so much. If he has energy amp, if he ults again, you're probably losing that fight. Like, to be honest, even in a even like a 5v5, that's like the best case, right? You use it and benefits the team, and it knocks everybody up. You get knocked up so high. Like, it's probably one of probably the strongest knockup in the game. Man, this character's nice. This character is nice. Listen, yeah, I think yeah, that was my 5 minutes. I had to, like, it's literally 10 seconds, but yeah, this character, oh my god, Blastoise has been in it. I'm glad that when they put War Turtle in the little tutorial thing, I was like, oh, it's gonna be Blastoise, it's gonna be in the game, so I'm glad, but I instant regret when he got put in the game. I was shook. So yeah, character's great. Character is he's ease of access too. I hold that in high regard of how good I think a Pokemon is too. And I think this character is like not super hard and still strong. I think he's really, really strong. I do think he benefits a lot from Focus Band. I think Double Band is really good for him, and you can literally run anything. You like a build on another Pokemon, you could run it with that Pokemon. It's great. Blastoise can do anything. I think he's like the most versatile character in the game. I really do think that he can do so many things, and it's just like that's just the surface. Anyway, let's continue. Defenders. Oh wait, we did Wigglytuff, so I kind of want to do a support now. I'll do Mr. Mime. I think Mr. Mime, kinda good. I really haven't put anyone in C because I don't think there's anyone like worse or better than him. C, you put him in C, Santiago? Listen, okay, I'll put him in C, because he's cool. I'll put him in the C for the cool tier. He's a cool Pokemon. I do like Mr. Mime. I do think he's a cool Pokemon. But from a Pokemon Unite aspect, I think he is very... I don't think he's underwhelming. I think he is another controller. I think he can block off stuff. The barriers are really strong. I think the barriers into the confusion, hitting it and doing like a good burst damage is strong. But like, if he's not controlling the pace of the game, he's a very like... I won't say he's a one trick because Guard Swap is cool. Guard Swap is cool and he has options. But I think he got power crept like kind of hard. I don't think he's an ease of access character. I think he's hard to pick up and hard to be good with consistently. And his ult, you know, you just have to like run around and hit people with it. But it's still it takes some like understanding of the character. He has so many like extra effects with most of his moves, most of Guard Swap, confusion. Most of the time it's just a push. But knowing when to push someone into a barrier to secure an objective, to secure a kill, to secure a goal, like you need to know when to use those moves correctly. Like they have a lot of like good purpose. He's very what did I say? He's a very intentional pick. Like if you're playing Mr. Mime, you either main him or understand him or are using him for a certain like a specific thing. I don't think he's like super good at everything. I think he's there and everybody else is above him and you can use him and he's great and he can be strong. If you out farm your opponent, if you still farm from your opponent, he's annoying in lane. I think he's a good laner, but I think that's it. I think he can also like sometimes secure objectives, but he needs to have like all his abilities available. And his cooldowns are kind of long. Even his plus barrier and plus confusion on though it takes him a while. Like you need to know how long you can like fight, because his autos are kind of good, but they're not anything special. The knockup at the end is nice, but it's like just a little quick knockup, and his attack speed is kind of slow. I tried to use Muscle Band on him one time, and it felt like it was the same. I didn't feel like his attack speed was like going any faster, to be honest. You can notice it obviously, you know, like if you're eyeballing like how long you get that boosted auto out, but I think he's like super good in like comp games, like people like your 5 stacks. Like I think like you have to like use him like well, or he's just not super good. I think he falls off really hard when compared to everybody else above him. I think everybody else has like can do multiple roles. Like I go back to Decidueye because I have the most experience with him, but I think even him as a glass cannon, he can still push the lane really hard. I don't think Mr. Mime can push the lane super hard without someone with him. Like it's just his cooldowns just take too long. If he doesn't get plus fast, like he kind of gets like power crept and like jumped on and killed. He doesn't really have like good escape. Like you can run X speed too, but like you know, like there's some other items that might be better on him, and I think you might need to use those. Like I think you can run a score comp on him though. I think he has enough CC to where you can actually like do things. But Mr. Mime's cool. Mr. Mime is definitely one of those characters. But I think he's really intentional. I think you have to like know how to play with him, and also like you can't like, you know, just feel it out and still do well. But I think long term, I think you need like him to fit a specific role. Is he gonna support everybody else and try to keep the team alive, or like push the team away so the team can escape? Like he does things well, but he needs to like do something, or because he's not really like super good at one thing. So he's a good pick. I think he's fine, but I don't think he's like nowhere near as good as like Snorlax. I don't think he's better than Gardevoir. I think Gardevoir just kills people and still can score goals too. His offensive pressure is just not super strong. If you know how to dodge, that's another thing that I'm like trying to factor into like solo queue and like comp games. If you know how to like get around these skill shot characters, he's another one. Like he just like, it just gets like harder for him the longer the game goes and the more people like learn just to like kite moves or like flash out of certain situations. And he's one of those characters. Like I think Cramorant is the same. Like if he's not hitting you with his ult and he didn't stack damage, or like he's not like leveled over you, they're just there, and they get like they feel like one trick ponies almost. He's not really a one trick pony. I think Cramorant's the same way. I don't think he's one trick pony, but I think there are better options. Right? That was 5 minutes. Nice. I had like 5 seconds. Nice. All right. Back to defenders. My favorite defender. All right. I need to set the timer for this one because this is my boy, my bro. Is he better? No. Yeah, I think he's right here. I think he's top. Yeah, thank you. TLDR, someone definitely lacing me up. I appreciate it. He is super outclassed. Slowbro, the CC King. I'm still waiting on that Slowking evolution, man. I can still believe, but dog, Slowbro is a playmaking character. But oh, you know what? Actually, oh, hold on. Before I say that, in the realm of like what you can do, I'm gonna actually put him like since this is like a meta thing. I think Slowbro is an easy character at first, but the higher you go, the more demanding he becomes. Yeah. Oh my God, you run Score Shield Ales Cookies? Do you run that on Mr. Mime? Listen, he can do it. I believe it. Dude, yeah. On Slowbro, he definitely does benefit from Ales Cookie a lot too. This character can live. This character can CC. He probably has. I think he has the most CC in the game, and you know that's counting like Snorlax, like block and yawn and stuff, right? But Surf knocking up, they had to reduce the knockups on Surf because you were like stuck for a second after you got knocked up. They've nerfed Slowbro because he was really good. Slowbro was super good. Pre-patch, I would have put him in front of Wigglytuff. The only reason I don't is because most of the time, like that's what I was kind of like hesitating to put him like down here because like sometimes he gets out damaged. I will start with the caveats with him specifically because Slowbro doesn't do a lot of damage, but he sets up almost everything. He sets up objective kills. He can steal objectives with Surf sometimes. He can get an ult and just go, and if he has enough attack speed, because he attacks really slow, his early game is good. His early game is fine. It's not bad. It's not terrible, but it's good. It's not, it's not amazing. That's what I meant to say. Because Water Gun is strong. Water Gun can secure kills too. If you're running Choice Specs like I do, I usually run Choice Specs, Score Shield, and Buddy Barrier on him. Sometimes Buddy Barrier is like hit or miss because it has a little range. Oh, you running 3 glasses? Oh yeah, for that special attack, baby. Damn, that's good. I've actually never tried that. I'm gonna try that next to my Feeling Mind Me. I definitely want to try that and see how much damage I can get out of him. Slowbro's my boy. Slowbro and Ninetales were the first 2 characters that I played in the game. So I'm definitely I try to be a little less biased with them, but I can't understand how good they are. I think they are definitely playmaking characters. I think you can also run multiple things on Slowbro, but I don't think he's a really super damaging character, but he can get kills. If you get leveled enough to ult someone and you lock them down, I think he counters Cinderace a little hard, a little bit, just a little bit. He's a good counter versus her. If you CC her just a little bit, she can get bursted and die. I feel like that with all of them, but it's a little harder to CC Greninja because he has the cross up on his boosted attack if he's close enough to you. Surf to cross you. He has a lot of options that can make it hard to telekinesis him. But I think his best build is Surf Telekinesis for sure. The CC is that important. I think locking characters down is the move. I think you want to just hold people down in a certain spot or the goal. But I think his ult is really good. I do think another character that he counters hard is Charizard. I think Slowbro is the counter to Charizard because when he ults, I talked about this a little bit earlier while we were playing, but Bound is a specific CC. Yeah, he's good for distracting. That's a good point too. There you go, super. Yeah, using your brain. Slowbro and I, we're a little, on the low burners. But he bounds them. So when things are unstoppable, Bound can work multiple times. It's different for Blissey. She's one of the very few characters that has an unstoppable that can't be interrupted. Safeguard will cleanse the hit, or cleanse the CC. So she's a special case in that. But Slowbro is important. He can run. He can live for a while. Amnesia Scald is not unrunnable. You can literally live forever. You can literally live forever if you're playing the damage right. Well, I think Amnesia Surf is kind of better, because the amount of damage that you're getting back, and his passive with Oblivious is the more damage you do, the more blue bar comes back. So I think that's a little better than Skull. But Skull, they buff Skull, but I still don't think it's better than Surf. I think the amount of pressure you give off and team fight, presence is important as well. Oh snap! Let's go, Mr. Mime. I played 4 quick matches with Psychic Garswap and it kind of wrecked everyone. Because Garswap uses Psychic and Pokemon use Garswap on also have one. So, oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. Oh, they buffed that, right? Yeah, I definitely don't play around with Mr. Mime. So there's some intricacies that I don't know. I definitely didn't give a... Ooh, girl, what you do? Get out of here. He just wants to be a part of the stream. Come on. Go. Literally jumped on my foot. It's like 2 psychics. That's hype. So our other we're playing actually. Yeah. He's super important. I think his presence in the game sometimes can't be ignored. I think the Sober is good too. They'll either steal an objective a few times. They can still farm too. It can be a little hard to lane against a good Slowbro. If he just pressures you to make a mistake and then telekinesis you, pulls you back, character's cracked. And if you run on special attack, the ult is doing a lot of your health. If you get locked down, hopefully your team is there. Because sometimes Confusion got... Damn, they nerfed Confusion? Dang, poor Mr. Mime. That sucks. I love Mr. Mime. I love seeing him, but I don't see him a lot. So that's why. Even though he has a soft spot for me, I definitely think he's like one of the lower end picks for sure. And that's my boy. I do think Slowbro is a good he's a good solo pick until Zapdos. Specifically, I have experience only because I played him so much. There's sometimes when you just can't do enough damage. Like that, it happens a lot early game too. Where like if they're running like a attack weight weakness policy Lucario and they just keep scoring on you, you literally don't have enough attack speed or damage to do it until you level up to Slowbro and hope your Surf hit the Lucario on time. Sometimes you just can't stop people from scoring or taking objectives or taking Zapdos. So you just have to wait and use your abilities correctly, and sometimes he is held back from that. His damage isn't like super good, but it's consistent. It's consistent damage and he can kill people and CC them and then make people run after you, especially in the last few moments of the game. That's important too. But yeah, I'm sorry. Dang, someone, are you going to Mr. Mime me? Because I feel bad. Slowpoke is fine. Oh, boy, if you don't get the hell out of here, stop it. You're scaring the hell out of... Go. Go. Jumped on my freaking arm. Oh my god. Then just jumped off on a little thing I have here. Yeah. I like Slowbro. I think Slowbro is a good ease of access character. I think you can play Slowbro for a while and kind of understand a lot of the intricacies of how the game goes. Because at a certain point, you kind of have to like... Yeah, I see you. Stay over there. You fighting with this bug, man. I wish I could take a... I could show y'all, but... No, it doesn't need to be the camera. But last remarks, I think Slowbro's good. You used to make Mr. Mime nice. Yeah. So you know a lot about this character, man. Come on, keep him game. The psychic intuition, I'm a water psychic. You're a psychic. You're great. Psychic fairy now. That buff. Can either make him or break him. Okay. Next defender. Oh my god. Mamoswine. Listen. I know I said we're gonna do supports, but I want to talk about Mamoswine because I've been playing him recently. I think Mamoswine is good. I think he is B tier though. The reason I think he is B tier is because I think he's another one of those like... I think he's a good ease of access character. I do think you need to understand the character before you play him. Because Icicle Crash, Earthquake, it's fine. It's fine. I think that build benefits solely from Slow Smoke. I think Slow Smoke is a really good item, for a battle item for Mamoswine specifically, because there are a lot of situations where you can just kite Mamoswine and he just can't do damage. Like straight up, I think he gets kited and it sucks. There's some moments where you either miss the CC, they flash out. Blissey, probably his hardest counter in the game, and that's crazy thinking about how many characters are like, how many attackers he can like CC. But I think he gets countered by Blissey because if you run Ice Fang high horsepower, which I think is like his most high CC build, her safeguard literally blocks you from picking them up, and you literally get locked out of Ice Fang for like 6 seconds. And in a team fight, that is so important. Like you just have to wait, play well, damage you need to damage. I think he's I don't think he's super high level. I think he's like intermediate. I think it's fine once you know how to do damage with him and get like CCs, kills. He can secure objectives though. He can definitely secure Rotom and Dreadnought with high horsepower or like a good. I run him with Soul Smoke at first because I was like, all right, I need the ult. His ult specifically is not good. I will be completely honest with y'all. I love his ult. It's not good. It needs so much. It needs so much positioning. It needs a Zapdos fight. It needs a team fight where they can't run away from you or somebody else is ceasing. It needs so much help. The damage is fine. It's not good. It's not great. It's fine. Like you need to hit them up with the last hit on top of the other hits, which is hard to do because characters like Cinderace, characters like Greninja can literally just use an ability and get away from you. And if you didn't hit them, you just wasted your ult. And hopefully you have enough attack speed to CC them if they don't have like flash or full heal. He gets countered by a lot of things. I think he's a good laner though. I think he's really good. I think his early game is great actually. I think starting out with Swinub and Piloswine, it's fun. It's strong. I think you can CC opponents really easy. I think you if you Ice Fang somebody at your own goal, it slows down the time that they get to because it freezes the goal and they have to like spend longer time scoring. Sometimes it doesn't matter against like same thing like Attack Wave Lucario will still score pretty quickly if he has like 5 points. You're not stopping that because he does not have the. He's a good defender with the CC aspect of it. He doesn't really have enough damage to stop people from scoring if they have score shield. I think score comps like almost destroy Mamoswine, to be honest. Because if you just never like keep fighting Mamoswine, he's not really fast enough to catch you. He's not really fast enough to like if he didn't already CC you instantly like before you like as y'all are like meeting, you kind of can just run away from him. Like he gets kited really hard, but if he chooses the abilities way, he's really good in the ambush situation though. I think if you were like waiting on your teammates and y'all set up a really good moment, I think he'd be a good comp pick. But I do think he's like not super great. I personally, it's one okay. It's actually for 50 seconds. So I personally run Mamoswine with Muscle Band, Attack Weight, and Score Shield. Because I think as a defender, you kind of need to be scoring. Because like if you're living, you might as well score and get to help your team, right? Because sometimes fights just don't go your way, but you have to like work that into the character too. I do think he's just really he lives a long time, and with Buddy Barrier, I do run Buddy Barrier sometimes, but I actually don't on him because it just makes sense. I feel like if you're doing more damage, it'll be more impactful if you kill someone or CC someone into your team to where they can get a kill or a pick, and I think that's a little more important. Like if you can survive that long, right? Like he has a lot of health, so if you're stacking damage like I do, I literally run full attack. All that along with X attack, so I feel like I'm attacking quicker. I'm more of a threat. They have to like think about okay, like with this Mamoswine's kind of doing damage, I gotta either run away from him or stay out of the range of Ice Fang. Icicle Crash, Earthquake. I'll be with you. I don't think it's like really good. I think it's like kind of like if you're not running Slow Smoke to like hard CC them, especially in a 1v1, they literally can just walk away from your abilities. Like if you don't get hit by the last thing on Icicle Crash, sometimes if you didn't already auto attack them, they're just not getting frozen and they're walking away from your damage. Earthquake is so slow. Like it is insane how slow it is. If they buffed it, it'd be good. If they made it a little faster, I think that would really help him. But I think Mamoswine needs help. I think he needs the team. He kind of just gets kited. Like I think almost every single ranged attacker outdoes him like kind of hard. And if you get CC'd Hopefully you have your old. Hopefully you have X speed or an escape option because I think he just gets like outclassed. I think too. That's one of the big things. Oops, sorry. Yeah, want to stop the alarm before it happens, but I think he's good. I think Mamoswine is a fun pick. He's a fun pick for me. I definitely enjoy playing him. I know how bad he is, so I just try to like play around those weaknesses. I try to out Blissy's safeguard to slam her on the ground. Hopefully she doesn't have override, which she probably does, and she'll use it to save herself. But he's good. I think he's fine. I think he's B though. I think he's like solid B tier. He's not unusable. I don't think he's like solo Q mainable. I think you should play other characters. Because I think he's just so slow. Like if you like play Mamoswine your whole life, it's fine. You'll learn the character. He's great, but in these cases, he's just one of those characters that just everybody does what he does, but better. They can defend harder. They can defend onto pressure. They can reverse a situation where you might be losing. I think it's a little hard for him to close out Zapdos too. Like if you aren't already attacking it or have somebody else with you, he's just so slow. Even with attack speed, X attack, it doesn't really like save you from like a Zapdos like Steel or like Talonflame. He can't really stop her once she's Brave Birding and literally unstoppable. But yeah, Mamoswine's fine. I think I put him right here because I think Snorlax can do a little. He can secure objectives a lot harder. He can knock characters out. He has a little more CC that matters, whereas Mamoswine gets countered a lot. Next defender. Hey, this is loud. This is okay. Yeah, I really need 5 minutes for this one. This is my top 5, and this is after the nerf too. Because before the nerf, Defense Curl. It's such a stupid move. That move early. Greedent probably has one of the most flexible early style game plans. You can literally run him in almost every situation. I've seen Greedent jungle. I've seen the invade Greedent thing. You know, I've never done it myself, but it's just nice. This character is literally Crustle, but like on crack. He literally has like Shell Smash, but like it lasts a lot longer, and he's healing while he's running away from you. He's dropping berries as he's getting hit, and he's healing. This character is literally... He is the harasser. Belch is such a good thing to run on him with Cut. Oh my god. I cannot tell you how many times he just literally running around in circles. Belching me over and over again. I'm like, I'm trying to get away from him. He runs so fast, like he can't get away. He just keeps knocking you up, and you gotta use something to get away from him. Sometimes I feel like he's always forcing you to use an option, or almost like his map presence. If Greens have good map presence, he literally, it almost feels like he controls the game. Like he can go and score, he can steal objectives, he can run score comp. This is probably like the character to run a score comp on, and that's right next to Talonflame. He can run an attack build and just be so strong. I do think he's probably the best in a score role. Like he probably just needs to like run attack weight, keep stacking score because he has the speed for it. He has the speed, he has the sustain. His character does it all. His ult is really good. I think his ult also is really good with Buddy Barrier, but like that knockup is nice. That damage increase in speed is nice. I think Greedent is top 5 for me, and he still is, even after the Defense Curl nerf. Because I do think also the reason why he is bottom 5 is because if you don't have a good early game and the team like rotates to kill you early, he does struggle sometimes. Like you can tell like if he's running like the right things or if he's just not using his ability correctly, because you're getting him to like half health, and sometimes that is really hard to do. Like that is almost impossible. Cheek Pouch is such a good passive for him. I do think he's probably the most meta breaking character in the game. He gets to like just do his own thing, and it's hype. It's so hype. Well, I got like 40 seconds. I think Greedent is a really cool addition to the game. I think he is such a cool character. I think the way you have to play against a Greedent is so... It's so different. It's so different than the other characters. Even Crustle. Because, like, Crustle, sometimes you just, like, you know, you fight him. If you have enough damage to, like, CC him or, like, hit him, he has to run away, right? Greedent can, like, like scrap. Green can 1v5 if they're smart enough and like just harass you long enough for you to get tilted. If you get tilted versus a green, oh my god, like it can steamroll out of control really fast. And if they get the level advantage, oh my god. So I used yeah, your Mimo could still zap. Dang. Yeah, no, it's definitely annoying. This was a good. Does it only increase move speed and does rapid hits? I wonder. I actually haven't looked at the description of the move itself. But yeah, that was my time. Green, easily solo mainable, easily like one of my top 5 pick for the thing. That means we'll see, because we haven't gotten to the all rounders yet, and I think a lot of them are really good. Well, we keep going, and we almost last defender, Trevenant. Trevenant, ladies and gentlemen. I think Trevenant is not super good, but I think he is also an off-meta pick. I don't think he's bad at all. I think he can live. I think his passive is cool. I think Curse is cool. I think Woodhammer, he has a lot of CC. He's really, really strong, dude. A small stun each time you hit it. That's, okay, yeah, I feel it. I feel it. It's annoying as hell. And he's literally darting around me. Mime is nice. I put Mime in the top C. Trevenant, man. I'll try not to go like in depth on him because I've only had a limited experience with him, but I did play him on standard matches when he came out. And I think he's fun. I think he's another cool character. I think he's a really cool addition. I would not have guessed Trevenant to be in Pokemon Unite, but I'm glad he is. He's another different like energy steal, life stealing. His ult's pretty strong if you use it well. But I think he can also run like multiple things. I think the move speed buff made him just fast enough to like be able to stick to his opponents, and I think that's yeah. I was gonna put Mime and Beerty. I was thinking about it. He's like right on the cusp of C for me. Dude, yeah. This character's fine. Mastermind. Let's go. Mastermind? Yo, that should be your freaking Smurf name. That'd be so good. You just play all Mastermind. The dog. Trevenant is cool. I think Trevenant has to play around the team really hard. But I also think Trevenant can live long enough to score. I think Trevenant can also be ran in a score comp. I think it's fine. But I don't think it's super good. I think it's fine. Because his Horn Leech is great. It pushes you, CCs you, knocks you up. Woodhammer, that combo is nice. That combo is so nice. He decent damage if you know how to build him right. I've never ran him with like a muscle band, and I think he just gets bursted down, and people all the ranged attackers just kind of like delete him. Like if he doesn't get his ult off right, or doesn't know about his passive and uses it well, and knows when to get out. But I think Trevenant can run a really good tank build and live forever. I think this character's nice. I think the character's good. He can do whatever he wants, but I do think he is also outclassed by everybody else above him. I think you can defend hard. I think you can defend hard with Mamoswine and Mr. Mime. I think he kind of just struggles because his moves like don't other than like Woodhammer, Curse, like running around trying to do enough damage to like pop Score Shield. Like these are some things he struggles with. Dude, yeah. I almost got MVP. Let's go, someone. The God, the Mime God. I'm gonna have to run it with you and see how good this Mr. Mime really is, man. I don't think Mr. Mime's good. You might be able to change my opinion, but this, this is what the current patch right now and what's going on, and I think he's C in my opinion, only because the meta is benefiting like score comp, hyper aggression, like super pushing, and I think he struggles to like keep up sometimes in those specific builds that he has to play against. But I do think he can do it well. He can do what he does and does well, and he CCs hard. He is a controller in my opinion. He's nice. Trevenant, I can't remember what build it was. I think it was like double bands leftovers that my boy Lavender was running with the Trevenant, and he actually he only died like once in the game. He healed like 70k health and took so much that I think Trevenant is a good tank. I think he can run like some things, especially if the Trevenant is like good with the character. Oh my god. Bottom B. Let's go, right? Maybe we'll change. You can change my mind, man. I'm gonna be playing here in a little bit. I'm gonna play some night games too. It's talking about Unite makes me want to play it, so I'm definitely down to play more after this. But yeah. Trevenant is nice. I got to 1 minute with him, but I think Trevenant is just hard. He's hard to like make work. Again, Cinderace, I think if he gets CC'd hard, he's dead most of the time. If he can't get away from his opponent. And Instigators, I think he loses hard to Absol. I think Absol can chase him down and kill him really easily. Same thing with Gengar, same thing with Sylveon and Pikachu. Specifically, I remember playing Trevenant, a few Trevenant games. I just feel like I struggled so hard to get away from Pikachu, and it's fine. But he ults, and then like, he gets to like just blast him to death. All right. But that's what I think of Trevenant. I think he's fine. I don't think he's solo mainable. I don't think he's solo mainable or like super good in solo queue. But I think if you know how to play the character well, he can really like he can be a good distractor too. He's definitely a hard distractor. He can live and like run forever if you let him. If he's like just saps enough energy to like live, get his ult back. Buddy Barrier with ult on his ult is so annoying too because he just gets to live and live and live in that shield. I think he can be ran. I think he's a good score comp character. I will say that. Kind of like a controlly, like distracting, like disruptor. He's a disruptor. That's what I'll say. I feel like when you get CC by Trevenant, it's kind of annoying, and like if you don't like know how to get away from him sometimes, or like wait for his cooldowns, he can kind of be hard to deal with. But he's fine. And that was the last defender. Yeah, we did it. All right. Now we're gonna go on to supports. My girl Blissey. Oh shoot! I think Blissey. She's in this area. I don't think she's C. I think she's really good actually. But I also think she is like at the end of A. I do think she's better than Decidueye. But I don't. Is it bottom of the A? I think it's bottom of the A, dog. I think Blissey's really good, actually. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Did you? I think you heard earlier, someone. I'm using Clefairy for Azumarill. I'm gonna like say what I think about Azumarill because I already have an opinion. Specifically from the moves, I have to see the in-game stats, and then we can go from there. But my first opinion will come at the end, specifically for Azumarill because I want to I have a lot to say about it. Blissey, I think, is the top of, and the bottom of A. I think this character is so good. I think Blissey is the second best support behind Hoopa. I think Hoopa is literally necessary on like super high level teams where y'all all understand the game, right? But Blissey is that one. And she'll just come. You'll just have to play against a good Blissey, like King Blissey. I played against King Blissey so often. And he's a really good one, but he usually has been playing Gengar now. The last few times I've played him. We'll see. I have some thoughts about the character, man. But yeah, let me give him 5 minutes because Blisseykin is a score comp support. She's also a super hyper aggressive support. I think her lane presence is important. I think you can't really ignore her because she can keep teams alive. She can keep people from dying. She can literally safeguard someone at like 1 point of health and they'll just happen to make it to the goal, get that move speed, and you are just not killing them. She is a playmaking character as well. Her ult, some Blisseys, I hope all Blisseys know. Yeah. Blissey literally, that's what I was gonna get. That's my next point. Okay, so I'm talking about her abilities specifically. I think Pound is good. Pound is a good move. It does good damage. It can secure kills. Blah blah blah. It's in Steel Farm. She's good. She's good in the offensive setting. I think she's a really good defender as well. But I think her offensive pressure is a little bit more impactful. I think once you level her up, she levels up to level 4. That's important for a support. I think almost all supports level up to level 4, which is nice. But Safeguard, broken. That move is so stupid. Oh my god. It literally, one other person, and this is what I was going into it. Yeah, we could do Elden. Yeah, I skipped her because Eldegoss is fine. She's still good, but she's fallen off a little bit. But I'll get to my opinion on her in a second. Blissey is that one. I think I'm more concerned about a Blissey than I am of Eldegoss, specifically because there's some moves that I expect to work, and Blissey is that that character will just invalidate your whole some team plans. She is a score comp character. I think score comps will run circles with her because if she ults a person while she's running past her enemies, knocks up and does so much damage. Like it's actually really important how much damage her ult does, and it literally gives. I don't think it gives attack buffs, but it gives your health to a teammate that you ult and a shield. But it also comes with the caveat of if your teammate is at low health and you ult them and you don't make it to them, they die. You get no more knockup and you stop where you are. So if you're in the middle of a team fight and your teammate that you're ulting died, it's really important to like just take into account of that, because like she can like literally die because of that. I do think you can run her with multiple items. I think XP is good. I think Potion is really good too. I think you can run her with Aeos Cookie. If she stacks enough health and is just tanky enough, like with Focus Band or something, she gets to live for a long time, and she can kind of be hard to like CC and deal with because of her passive as well. Her passive is called Natural Cure, and I think it's like either every 2.5 or 3, like somewhere around that, 2.5 or 3 seconds. She gets a cleanse on herself. They had to patch out a bug because when she got ulted by Charizard and Natural Cure activated when he was ulting her, it literally put her like underneath the ground. You could still hit her and everything, but it just the the bug in the game just looked weird, and it stopped Charizard's ult, and it was just, you know, it was like game breaking. It was just weird, and it shouldn't happen like that sometimes. I think now you can't even use the passive to get out of the ult. I think it just ults you regardless, but you can protect yourself with a safeguard. I haven't like experienced the ult in a while actually, because usually I'm not running Blissey against Charizard, but you can, and it can stop if you safeguard someone. Her safeguard is specifically special, because remember how I said how Slowbro is bound? Some bound moves will stop you, and those moves are Charizard ult, Seismic tossing you. It bounds you. You can't get out of, like, you can't do anything even if you are unstoppable and he ults you. But if Blissey's safeguard is around you, it stops that from happening completely. You can't ult them. Serena's the same way. If she ults you and like knocks you up, does a flurry of kicks, it bounds you in the air until she like slams you down. If she has ult, it doesn't work on that. It literally doesn't even work on Slowbro ult. It's so weird. I don't know why she's the exception. Maybe it's only because she has safeguard, and maybe it's because the cleanse will stop the hit from happening. I don't know. I have to like look into it a little more. But she is definitely a character that the presence matters. That's 40 seconds. I think she can really use. I don't know if you guys watched the tournament, but y'all saw Blissey make the final score. Her score shield is so big because of safeguard. It doesn't add to the score shield, but just like doing damage to her and like interrupting her is important, and sometimes that can be really hard. And she can save opponents, not opponents, but her teammates from getting interrupted from the score. Really good pick, but I think she like has a hard time with people that can like kite her. She's still a melee champion at the end of the She's a melee Pokemon at the end of the day. She has to get close. She does good damage with Helping Hand. It's a great move. Her healing is really good too. If you, I don't see this a lot, but if you stack the special attack or whatever you're doing, if you're running like special attack specs, this is like a theory. I'm gonna try to run it in the future. But soft boiled scales off special attack. So that's important because if you're actually like running a specific like build with your friends, that works if you're healing your opponent or teammate. Sorry. It's fine and it's good. It's good heals. She has like 3 or 4 eggs. I think it's 3. I think when you get Soft Boil Plus, you might get 4, but maybe it just comes back faster. I don't know the specifics, so I haven't used it. That's why I was literally finna talk about that. Egg Bomb Blissey is literally like you're trolling. You have to be like it. The CC is fine, but the amount of time the egg takes to hit the ground, even if you're like throwing it like really close to you, there's no like, it just like goes up and it comes back down and it's avoidable. It just doesn't do much. I think her support moves are just way better. You really shouldn't run it, but if you're feeling egg bomby, don't let me stop you. But she can do anything. This character is really good. She's underrated, but I do think all these other characters can either out damage her, out prioritize her, or outclass her in that moment. Woo! We did it. All right, Eldegoss, it's time. The Cotton Guard herself. I kind of want to put her in A. And the reason why I want to put her in A a little bit is because her presence is also, her moves are really good. Let me scratch that. Her Cotton Guard and Leaf Tornado are really good. I think she's a little better than Shijoi. Alright. I think this is why I put her top of B. And the reason I'm putting her here is because damage. She doesn't really have super offensive pressure other than helping her teammates get to the goal, get to her opponents, or get to or chase someone down herself that's like super low health. Her damage is actually not really good, even with choice specs. I've tried to run it. You can like secure, you can get early game secure, but I do think once synthesis wears off, your offensive pressure becomes like how good your team can like follow you. It's really like, yeah, I enjoy playing her. I do enjoy playing LDRs. I think she's really good. I think Leaf Tornado is probably the best thing that you can run on her, because like I think Pollen Puff is like hit or miss. And the reason I think it's hit or miss is because it doesn't explode on contact, and that's the only reason. That is the only reason why I don't think you should take the move over Leaf Tornado. She throws a little ball and it'll like sit there for a second and then explode. I think it'll like explode after like a whole like 1.5 seconds, something like that. But by that time, either the person is either already dead because he got bursted by your team, or like getting to the goal and then it doesn't even matter that you hit them with Pollen Puff, or like you're healing your opponent, which is good, but if they aren't like in danger of, if it's only good if they aren't in danger of dying. Like it's actually like, I think she's like intermediate. I think you can run her and then it works, but if it doesn't work, I think her lows are a lot worse than her highs. Her ult is good. Her ult is great. I also think like, high level in a really good comp, I think she can like really like, I think she is one of the better supports. I think she's in the top 3 support, with Wigglytuff, Hoopa. I think she's like slightly better than Blissey, and it's only because she's and that's a hard sell too, because there's so much that Blissey offers to the team that Elios doesn't. Like her shield's got nerfed too, and I don't really think like it was even that big, super big of a change. But like long term, like with scaling wise, you notice how much shield you don't have. Cotton Guard is still better. I think Leaf Tornado Cotton Guard is definitely the thing to run. Conspore is a fake move, please. You can run it. It increases your team's speed on top of your speed and does a slight knockup. But again, it is the exact same problems that Pollen Puff does. The burst doesn't happen immediately. Only the move speed does. Now you can attack out of a Cotton Spore, which, thank God, like, thank God, that move is such a troll. Because if they're running to their goal, if you are the one chasing them, you don't have enough damage to kill them most of the time. Like, if you're not boosted auto-attacking and they're not at low health, they're getting to the goal, that knockup just hit their shield and then they're fine. Like, the move is just not positionally, like, worth it, bro. Like, I think you can just run Leaf Tornado and do the same thing, and then there's a little like spin at the end and it does like a multitude of hits. Sometimes you can steal objectives. It's a really good move. I think that's what you should be running on her, and I think she can also work in the score comp. She's actually really good in the score comp too. Like if y'all are just running specifically to score, you could get to the goal really fast, you could push lanes really fast. I think her offensive pressure is nice with Leaf Tornado specifically. Other than that, the ult sometimes can work, but there's a really small AoE for the buddy barrier, so you need to be really close to your teammates for them to get the benefit of the barrier, and then hope you position yourself well like on the side of them. Wherever she slams down, her opponents get pushed away from her depending on like how close you are. So depending on how close you are, you'll get pushed like to the side, or if you cross them up and if they're like slightly away from you, they'll get pushed from wherever they are, which is, you just have to like know positional advantage. Like sometimes I can do. You love talking about Mr. Mime. It's so good. 20 to 25% damage with Scar Swap Psychic with MR Mime. Magic resist? If you know their stats, I think knowing the game is really beneficial for Mime players. I think that's important too. But overall, I'll wrap it up with Elios. I don't think there's much you can say. Like you can try to run a damage build on her, but her base stats are just so weak. Like it's really not. You can run a damage build on Blissey, and sometimes and sometimes it'll work. But it's harder to make that work with Eldeos. The only reason she's not slightly better than Blissey, because usually I end up putting ranged over melees, because you can attack someone from a distance. Like that's automatically like better than having to run up and get close. But her benefits, sometimes her lows are just a lot lower than Blissey's lows. I think a high skill Blissey will beat an Eldeos almost like 80% of the time, in my opinion. And I'm not just saying that because, I said it earlier. I think that's like a recurring theme I have. But when I see a Blissey, I feel like a little more safer. Whereas Eldeos, I'm kind of like, we can do it. I hope it works. Like I'm kind of like in the middle ground. But Eldeos is not good. I think Eldeos is good. Sorry. I think she is also solo queuable. I think this, if you like just know, if your teammates know how your abilities work, it can really benefit y'all when you have a good Eldeos on your team. Y'all can just either get away, sometimes have enough shield. Because if you don't get hit by the shield with a Cotton Guard, it will heal you after the time the shield is active, which is kind of cool. But you still have to wait for it. So in a team fight, that shield is usually the only like benefit you're getting from it. But it's important. It's important, and sometimes it can decide whether you survive and take Zapdos, or whether your whole team dies and someone gets to have that ult that makes the buddy barrier that literally like that saves the Hoopa so he can ult. So y'all all get shielded up and y'all are fighting for a long time. It really does. Those micro decisions come into play. I think she's probably like an enhancer. Move speed is important. Move speed is really, really important in the game. So having an ability to control that is important too. Woo! Eldegoss, she's cool. I like her. You should play her. You should definitely try Eldegoss. I think she's fun too. But when she doesn't work, sometimes it can be kind of like, it hurts. Now for our last support is Hoopa. I'm gonna try to keep this 5 minutes, but I think it's gonna go over 5 minutes. Dude, just get close to someone and guard swap and you psychic and you do decent amount of damage. Yeah, that they need to know the range so you can like run away or just straight up like get out of there. Mr. My guard swap underrated. I definitely think it's an underrated move. Hoopa. This character is broken. This character is so broken. And the reason I say that is because of Hyperspace Hole. Hyperspace Hole is it gives the most utility in any move ever. Literally, like this character, you get to Dreadnought so fast. If you're in a comp, I think in a tournament setting, I think Hoopa is so important. I think moving around the map sometimes can be hard, like for people like me that mess up the super jump, and you just like you throw out an ability, have to wait, jump again, and then you lose a team fight because you didn't make it to the goal. Hoopa got you, bro. She will literally make a portal to that same thing, and you can run up to the goal and teleport to it. Yeah, it takes a little bit, but usually the Hoopa is already fighting, waiting for you to get there. This is one aspect. Phantom Force. You can if you're running Trick gives you a little like a ring around your partner and a shield, and it speeds you up. Move speed already does what Eldeos does better on a less cooldown. Literally, it's so good. And literally, if you're using hyperspace, not hyperspace, hyperspace is good. You can teleport around the map. It's great. It's really good. It does damage. Sometimes it'll like give you a move speed buff. I don't know what that decides. When that is decided, I just use it, and either I get the move speed buff or I don't. But you can literally teleport your team to the goal, heal up super fast because the healing is insanely quick in this game when you get to the home base, and then teleport back, pressing a little R and your C stick or whatever you have, or the bottom knob if you play a pro controller. Whatever you do. I don't know mobile players. I'm not a mobile player. I'm sorry. I just wanted the Pikachu skin. Blah blah blah. That move literally is the best healing move in the game, and you still maintain position. Like that Hoopa. That's what I was finna say. Hoopa is also the leaps and bounds of skill that you need for this character to be perfect is there. And once you master Hoopa, oh my god, it feels like you can't get away from their team. Like the positional advantage you constantly have, and that's not even talking about the other moves. Trick Shadow Ball is such a good solo queue build. You literally increase your one of your partner's movements. They get a little thing. So if you're running Shadow Ball, which I like Shadow Ball, I would run it over Phantom Force. But Phantom Force also, okay, hold on. First, let me talk about how good Shadow Ball is. Shadow Ball is piercing damage. It'll hit everything it passes. Great. It can secure farm. It can hit your opponent and farm. It can hit the whole team if they're like close enough. And if you have Trick, the little hole on your partner, it makes another Shadow Ball and does double the damage. It's really good. The build's great. The character's great. It's fine. She's ranged. Her early game abilities are really good. Confusing can be good sometimes, but only if you need a time effect. An after time effect. It can secure kills. If you're playing it right, it can secure farm if you know how to do it correctly. I do think this is the skill character. I think this is probably the hardest character to play in the game. As long as you know how the flow of the game works, when to rotate from objectives, this character just gets better and better. Originally I was gonna put Hoopa at the top of A, because it's just. But when I put Blastoise and seeing how good Blastoise is, I was like, Hoopa is literally that. Hoopa literally does a lot of things. This character is great. Hoopa is so good. I think Hoopa is almost necessary. He's a map controller, literally, and does damage. Phantom Focus plan. He can run a lot of things on him too. He can run a score comp, and he's great at it. He can literally run a attack damage build, and he's great at it. Phantom Force, if you use Trick and put the hole on your partner, they can use the Phantom Force to hit. It's literally like, if you, I have a plan to try this, but if you use Phantom Force, Trick your Zero Aura, he volt switches, goes in, he can literally go in again and teleport through the hole back to wherever Hoopa set the hole. Like, there's so many things you can do with this character. It's crazy. And the more I thought about the character, I was like, this character is S tier. They even nerfed the cooldown like 3 seconds on Hyperspace Hole, and it still feels like he's Hyperspace holding all the time. Like, you can't get away from this character, bro. It's great. It's great and bad sometimes, but he's good. I can't put him any lower than that. His ult is so good. Listen, if you're running Buddy Barrier and a global teleport for your whole team, literally Zapdos calling card. Like, this character is so necessary, and you need to know how to play against Hoopa. That's one of the hardest things about him too. You need to know how to counter Hoopa. You need to know and how to take him out first. Burst the opponents down before they get to teleport through Hyperspace Hole, because then they come back full health and you have to fight them all over again. Like, this character is crazy sometimes. And if they're picking their spots well, it's just gonna be a bad time. Like, this character, Hoopa on Energy Amp, I think is not talked about. Having an ult all the time and farming all the time, even though Hoopa has to be in position, he still has to, decide to go farm. So that's probably, literally, that's probably the worst thing about Hoopa. Having to decide to go farm. Literally, the presence of him anywhere is threatening. Hoopa's another high priority target. And if he ults, it's unstoppable on transformation. You can't stop it. It's hard to interrupt. He gets extra health, and his damage is crazy. Like, the Psy Wave is literally like, it's like a little like laser beam, and it has a big range. And the Hyperspace Fury is literally an AoE stun. Like, oh my, this character is nuts. It's crazy. I'm not. Magician passive. Oh boy, early game Hoopa. Listen. If you have your berries taken and it just vanishes out of a red hole, Hoopa is why. He's taking your berries. It's gross. Thank you for saying something, son. Because I hate it. I hate it. And it'd be that moment. It'd be that moment where you're just going back to go. You just almost got bursted by the jungle. And you're going back to grab the berry, and Hoopa literally takes it. And you can't grab it when it's teleporting. This character's cracked. This character is really hard to play. Not really hard to play, but if you know how he works, learn the character, it only like leaps and bounds benefits you. Especially if you like are a veteran of the game. Excuse me, I had to come out. I apologize. Playing the game, I'm sorry, it's been like 7 minutes, but this character is nice. The more you play against him, the more you'll like experience it. It's a good way, but he does get bursted down a lot. I will say that. If he's not using his abilities correctly, he will get bursted down, and that's a wrap. And if you being down one on Hoopa on your team, you feel it. You feel it hard. So the Hoopa needs to be like well, or at least know how to survive. Yeah, that's his character. Easily solo mainable, easily like good solo queue, and in comp is probably even better than this. Ah, that's all the supports. Let's do it. All rounders. Thank you guys for sticking for me so long. It's been great. It's been fun. I love these. I love this game. Pokemon Unite is the most fun I've had in like a whole minute. So I'll be on it for a minute as well. Garchomp. Character is good. How good is he, you say? I want to kind of put him in A. I kind of want to put him in A. I think he's better than Gengar, and I think he's better than Gengar long term in the jungle, just because of his all-around nature and because of the things he can do. I think I put him right here, and the reason I put him over these characters, sometimes he does get bursted down, but they finally gave him the two things that he needed. He needed a slight damage buff and a move speed buff, because he was so slow when he got released. Like, it was really easy to get away from him. But the more I'm playing against this character, the more I think this character is nice. The character is good, like straight up good. And he has a passive rough skin, so the more you hit him, he literally, dude, he's literally like, his attack speed is so quick naturally, like it's literally hitting you for so much. And you try to hit him back and you're taking damage. I'm like, oh my god, like I need to kill him, but I don't want to die. And you're trying to run away from him, and if he's jungling, you're not getting away from him. You're straight up not getting away. He's diving you, doing the little dragon claw, little rush thing. I think it's like, I don't know what his move is. Probably like what's that move called? Bulldoze. Scoots to the ground. You're like knocked up, and then he hits you back down. Oh my god. And that's not even talking about his ult. His ult is so strong. He gets like a hella move speed, and he gets like these like, I think 3 attacks. The last landing attack is so strong. Like I underrated how strong it was. And then I got deleted. I got one-shotted, I think, by like from like half of my health as Blissey. And I was like, what just happened? Like, I thought I was fine. And not through Safeguard. I think Safeguard will literally give you like a little bit of health left, but it's strong. And then he has the move speed and attack speed after that. Like, he can chase down people nice. It's in a nice way. Not like super chase down, but he has the abilities to make it work now. And he can run a lot of things, actually. I think he's a really good. I think he's a decent laner. I think he's just best in the jungle, to be honest. But he runs over people. It's nice. It's great. It's This character is annoying, but he can be bursted down. I think he struggles to like really like deal with people kiting him. I think he gets kited really hard by Ninetales, countered. You know, that's not even just because of their typings. It's just because he gets frozen. If he gets CC'd, most of the time he's either dead, has to like use an ability to get away, flash away. I do think X attack is really good on him too. I think score comp is good on him. I think he's just tanky enough, and like he asserts presence when he gets Garchomp. I think when he gets his ult, he's scary to like fight on the go. He can sometimes delete you, and he can sometimes like 1v3. Like, his character is strong. Lucario is S tier, maybe A tier. Yeah. We'll see. I'm about to get Lucario. He's the one. He's the one I've been waiting on. I wonder if Esmoto's watching, because he literally plays only Lucario. He plays him in Smash as well. So this is a fun time. But yeah, okay. I'll stop here. I do think he does benefit from a muscle band. If you're like scoring a super attack, the same thing I said with Mamoswine, where you run muscle band, score shield, and then like either a buddy barrier or whatever you want to run, like score shield just for scores. This character can do a lot of things, and he can excel at them too. If he gets fed, it's kind of hard to stop a fed Garchomp, to be honest. His damage is really good, and then if you attack him, you take damage. I don't know if ranged characters take damage too. I've actually like haven't looked into the passive that hard, but I know it is rough skin, and you take damage for coming into contact with him. So that's a big thing. He's strong. He's definitely a strong character to play. I do think he gets countered hard by I said kiting specifically, but I think Ninetales is a really hard counter for him. Sylveon is a really hard counter for him. It's fighting with fairies. Blastoise also can like make Garchomp struggle if he can't get to Blastoise, and they play the kite game really well, or like get CC'd, he just gets blown up. I think he's fine. Pikachu sometimes is hard, but I think if he gets a hold of Pikachu, Pikachu just squishy enough. Ninetales and Norvera can be stressful too, but I think if you run, I think Avalanche Blizzard really does him in sometimes. That build is hard to get around because making the little avalanche thing does like a little like breeze, and it does like ice damage too, and it can proc the freeze. On top of her saving the Blizzard in case they know the matchup, you can still blow him away and still kite him and still do tons of damage to him. Those are probably his hardest counters. I think you think Duraludon was like a really hard counter too, but I played against a few Garchomps and he has almost enough mobility to just get on the Duraludon. Even when he's ulting, he just has to like play it right, do enough damage, like consistently kill Duraludon as a high priority target, as you should. And he can Duraludon doesn't have a lot of health, but he still has a lot of damage, so it becomes a 1v1 at that point, and he can win the 1v1 most of the time actually. But I say like if it's a team fight, probably like 60%, because the team damage will usually end the Garchomp if they're not playing well. So yeah, Garchomp's great. A tier, solid, good. Solo mainable, kinda. I think you should play an easier character. I think he's like takes a little skill. He's not like a super ease of access, but he's fun. He's fun. I played him a little bit, just a little bit though. I don't own him. Only in standards because they nerf people. Lucario, I finally got it. I'm taking what you said into account. I think Lucario is the best character in the game originally. Then Duraludon came out. So if I was going to put him anywhere before Duraludon came out, I think he would be the best character in the game. Lucario can do so much. I'm not going to put him here though. I think I'm going to put him behind Blastoise. I think Lucario is heavily carried by the early game, but it's a good carry because if he steamrolls out of control, he just does so much damage, and he scales well. I think the build I mentioned earlier specifically for Lucario, attack weight, that's when you score, you build attack by scoring all the time, and someone told me that one of my good friends, he told me that you can stack it up 6 times at max. On top of that, weakness policy, when you take damage, it increases your health and damage you do like as a percentage. So the more damage he's taking and the more times he's scoring early, this character steamrolls out of control, like super easy. Yeah. He can definitely he can rule his own lane. His abilities in the beginning are so good. The Meteor Mash, and it pushes you away. This character, I'm limiting myself to 5 minutes here because there's a lot to say. His early game is like heavily dependent. Like if you don't know how to play this character well, he kind of can just get destroyed, to be honest. And the reason I'm saying that is because he can still farm up and be strong, but his ult doesn't do a lot of damage by itself. You have to stack the stacks and then have the level advantage. Hope you hit somebody because that ult is slow and easy to avoid. His ult is not great, but he gets this. What benefits come after it? That's like super good. He gets the attack buff and speed and the move speed on top of that. It's great. Well, his doesn't get stronger, but it attacks faster, moves faster. So basically, he's doing more damage. And this character is gross. He literally is. He takes a little bit to like master, but when you master him, out of control. Like he's literally in team fights. He's crossing you up. He's quick attacking towards you, meteor mashing you towards your opponents, towards his team, so they can get a free kill. And his boosted attack knocks you up too, and it does a little hit before it knocks you up. So good. His CC is great. Bone Rush, his leveled up attack, literally gives him a movement. He can literally dive goals. He can go with score. His score comp is actually one of the best in the game. Actually, he can throw the bone rush at the goal. And so it's 50-50. Either you're not going to chase him and he gets away for free, you chase him, he teleports to the bone rush, scores on you for free. This character has so many good options. It's so good. Quick attack early is really good too to secure and steal farm. He can steal farm so easy from you. If he just waits in the bush, running the bush, you have to attack him. He goes, kites you. If you didn't do enough damage to your APOM, he's literally stealing it from you, scoring on you. He's getting more powerful, and he's just literally he's literally harassing the hell out of you, and just gets to run away if he wants to. I think he needs either an enemy or a wild Pokemon to use extreme speed. Not extreme speed. I think extreme speed as well, but quick attack. But I think you can still like dash away and just like reset. Worry about the cooldown later. His positional advantage can be really good and really like out of control if he's doing damage. They nerf close combat. It's another one of his moves. It's still strong. It's still strong. It's still good. It still does damage. It still heals him. It does life steal on top of it, and he can still just burst you down. Power up punch. He literally can like just hold it for so long, and does a little dart. It's basically like quick attack but better, and it does an actual hit that does really good damage. And he can finish you. He can chase. He can literally do everything in the game. He's probably the best all-arounder. I don't think I'm gonna put anybody else higher than him, but I do think a lot of the all-arounders are really good. I think the worst is Serena, and you'll see where I put her in a little bit. But yeah, this character, Lucario, is nice, man. I think if you start out playing Lucario, it's only gonna benefit you. This character will never go out of meta. He's just so good. He can do anything you want. You can play him aggressive. You can play him defensive. You can jungle with him, and he's still broken. Like he can steal Zapdos. He can steal any objective, to be honest, and without risking a lot. Like he can just hold power punch, wait for you to do something. He can cancel it, do his other move, and then he's fine. And extreme speed, if you know how to reset it, which I don't, but if you know how to reset it and get like 3 extreme speeds off, it's gonna benefit you in the team fight so heavily. To like kill people, isolate people. If you have to run away from him, sometimes you're just not getting away from him. He got flash. He can really run everything in the game and just be so good. This is probably like the most versatile character in the game next to Blastoise. The only reason I put him under Blastoise, in my personal opinion, is because Blastoise has ranged attacks. He has ranged attacks. He has CC. Blastoise has a little more that I feel like offers a team, but Lucario can still do the same thing and just as good. But I think Blastoise has that positional advantage where Lucario sometimes has to go in on his opponent. Blastoise can just camp the tower and literally just harass you and kite you and just be an SOB the whole game and still do it. Lucario can do the same thing, but he does have to risk going in. That's his only benefit that I would put him under Blastoise for. Woo! That's my Lucario. 5 minutes flat, actually. Whew, okay. Sorry. Charizard. This character, I think, is at the bottom of A tier. I like Charizard. I think Charizard has an ease of access to. I think he's a really good character to start with. I think he's a really good Mon in general. I think his skill cap is kind of high. You have to know how to like kite your opponents. I think it's important to know how to like steal farm, specifically with Charizard, because I don't think Charizard plays like a standard melee attacker. Like he literally all arounder. Sorry, but he literally runs around, fire. And I was like, I think it was like at the end of last year that I literally found out that when Charizard burns his opponent, he moves faster. I don't know why. I don't know why that didn't like click to me, because sometimes I just don't get away from him. Like, oh my god, why is he still here? He's still burning me. I'm gonna die. And it's just like it's literally the slow burn in the game, and it sucks sometimes when you get isolated by him. All his moves are good, every single one of them. I do think he's a very heavy skill shotter at the beginning of the game. I think his early game is a little lackluster, but it goes. I think it like shows how strong this character becomes. When he levels up, he becomes a problem. Like you need to know how to deal with him. Because if he walks up to you, if the Charizard's running Energy Amp, he's ulting you. And if he's ulting you, he's literally destroying people. Your team cannot get away from this thing unless you either burst it down or just have an escape option, or have 2 berries at the base. Hope you were the only one low. Take both berries and keep trying to run around in the goal to, his auto aim, it tracks. It probably is like one of the best tracking autos in the game. Like it's insane, probably not, but it's really good if you're close enough. If you're in his melee range, he's doing damage to you. I think he's really. Ow! You little hoe. That bug thing literally. He literally goes into my fingers. Sorry. Charizard. His character's great. His character's fine. He's good. I think he's a really like specific way you have to play him, but once you like learn him, he's great. He's fun. His ult is really strong. I do agree with that someone. His ult is like crazy sometimes. If he's running Buddy Barrier, oh, he's benefiting one person on the team, saving them, and killing you. Most of the time he's killing you. He can literally go over objectives. There's a few characters that can do. I only think characters have a good teleport range, which is probably I don't know if Gengar can do it, but I'm assuming he can. Charizard and Talonflame are one of the few characters that can just like go over like obstacles and barriers and like the boundaries of the stage. He ults and he can literally, if he needs to get away, he can run from you or he can just burn you to death. Like he can do everything with it. It's great. He does have to wait, but I will say the reason why I put him in bottom of A tier is because of his hard counters. He gets kited early, and if he's dying early, it's not gonna be a good time. Like Charizard really struggles in an XP deficit. I think Charizard teams really have to prioritize Dreadnought. I think Dreadnought like will get you to that next level, or like get you to Charizard faster. It's really important to either stay ahead or not do well. Yeah. Charizard, he is so high in the air. You can still, funny thing enough, you can still hit him while he's in there, but you have to deal with the flamethrower burning you, literally burning you every single tick, and it's doing extra damage, and you can't stop him unless you have Slowbro. I think it's hardest counter Slowbro. I said it when I was talking about Slowbro, and I'll say it again here, specifically because another hard counter he has. I don't think Blissey counters him super hard, but she can stop him from picking up an opponent, and you have to wait like 10% to get your ult back, and that sometimes in a team fight is a lifetime. Like it really matters. I think if he can get the ult off, it's great. It's great, right? You can steal Zapdos, you can steal objectives, you can live, you can just dominate and have heavy offensive pressure. But I do think his early game sometimes decides how well he has to farm a lot. But it's good as long as you're keeping up with your opponents. I think it's good if you're keeping up with the enemy team and not falling super behind, because I think when he falls super behind, he just gets. Can you like get out of here? I don't want to talk. Man. Stop it. Go. Listen, I'm gonna throw you outside in a second. Charizard's good. Charizard easy, like bottom of A tier in my opinion. I think his character's strong. I think he's strong, and when he's fed, he can be even stronger. I think this bug just likes me. It's weird. It's like a grasshopper, like water bug thing. I don't know what it is. But Charizard, yeah, I have 1 minute left. This character benefits, I think, from a scope lens. I think crits are really good for the amount of hits that his fire does. So sometimes it'll just crit and do like randomly like strong damage. But he can run people down too. Like if you can't get away from him, if he keeps burning you consistently, Fire Blast is a really good ability because it makes an AoE blast. And sometimes you can't get away from him. Sometimes you're stuck on their goal and you just get deleted. He also has Fire Punch, which finally they buffed. When he first came out, it only burned the first person you hit, which literally made no sense. I was like, why is this not burning everyone so I do more damage in the team fight? Literally his only flaw, they actually fixed it. That buff, good job devs. That was a really good buff because he needed it. If you were gonna run Fire Punch, which literally got outclassed by Flamethrower because they buffed it and literally made, like he can be ranged with his abilities, but his abilities do really good damage. Like it's really good, and that's on top of his ult. Character's fine. Character can be solo queued. Character, you can play him in so many different ways. I do think he can be played in the score comp, but I think he's like a little more niche in the score comp. I think he's better, like he can be good in jungle. I think he's a fine laner. He's decent. He's not good because his early game just struggles. If he's not paired with a range, I think I will say this like in general. I think a range and a melee is fine. I think 2 ranges are probably the best way you can run a lane duo, but You have teams like Ninetales Blissey, and I think they're a really good pair together. But I think if he's teamed with a melee, y'all really have to know how to fight. Yo, we're talking about Charizard. Yeah, you're fine. Charizard, I'm on Charizard. He's a bottom of A tier for me, and it's only because Blissey and Slowbro exists. He single-handedly gets countered by them the hardest because it stops his ult. They literally have counterplay abilities that will, hinder his damage and like what he wants to do, and they CC the hell out of him. It's really hard for him to get past a lot of that stuff. But if he locks down Lucario, if he locks down Pikachu, he's killing them. Blastoise he kind of has a hard time with because Blastoise does outrange him, but it's literally fun. He can do everything. He's an all-rounder for a reason. He can be played in multiple positions, and I think Energy Amp is really good if you farm a lot. I think if you love farming and will constantly like farm, like right before a team fight, he really benefits from Energy Amp. Getting your ult all the time, constantly, is so important for him because that's where his biggest buff to his damage and move speed are. On Escape, he can literally use this character's fine. It's all around. He can do whatever he wants. Charizard is that bitch, like straight up. Good mon. You can solo him. I think you can solo main Charizard and still do really well. Machamp. How do I feel about Machamp? His character is really good, actually. I think they buffed something on him, but I don't remember what it was, to be honest. I'd low-key want to put him, like, over Eldegoss a little bit. I'm thinking about it. And the reason why I put Machamp here, I think you can put him, like, bottom A with Charizard. And the main thing is because the reason, I'll be specific. Attack weight on this character is out of control. I think he's a little better than Charizard in lane, and he has less range than him. You literally get to what is Dynamic Punch? He gets a jump. He gets an unstoppable. He gets a little like flare around him, like a little power up. He gets move speed, and he's doing attack damage. He can score on you really hard. He can kind of play the same way Lucario does with attack stacking. And it benefits him so hard. Like, if you attack stacking, score shield, and like whatever else you want to run. I think those two items alone make this character better than Charizard. His ult is so good. Oh my god. He gets ult. He instantly, as soon as you ult, it's like you can position it wherever you want. He gets the attack speed and move speed as soon. It probably lasts the longest in the game, I think. He did, yeah. That's not. We'll get there. It's so good. Yes, someone you're very hard. You're very on it. This man, if you get ulted by him, you cannot get out of it. You get stunned. It's one of those pseudo stuns. Like your abilities don't go on like the little like red X thing, red cross thing, but you can't go out of the hits. And he can run close combat, do a whole bunch of damage on you if you can't get away from him, if he's kiting you, or if he just uses his move speed ability. He's moving faster than you and he's doing damage to you, and it's big damage. Like he's deleting people. And the reason why I put him like over Charizard is because he counters actually one of the top tiers, and it's Cinderace. I think he mashes Cinderace really hard. If she didn't blaze kick correctly and like either got away from him or kept like in a position to kite him and he gets a hold of her, he's killing her every time, like straight up. Same thing with Greninja. Greninja has a little more escape than Cinderace does, but if Cinderace can't burst him down fast enough, he's literally can kill her with close combat. One close combat, a few autos. Like he's really, really strong when he's fed too. Submission is his other build. Literally cross chop submission. He gets a dash and he's great, and he still gets move speed from it. Submission is literally one of the hardest CCs in the game because it literally like spins you and slams you. It's literally Mamoswine Ice Fang but better. Because it slams you for longer, your teammates can still hit the opponent, and you literally get them. You can body slam them off the goal, and you just decimate them if you know how to use Machamp right. Like actually, it's so like impactful how strong he is. He can jump. He's really, really good in the jungle. I think he's one of the better junglers actually. I think he's sometimes can do a better job than Garchomp and Garchomp, Gengar, and Absol. I was trying to think of Absol. I was like, I put him right here. Yeah, yeah. It's crazy, right? There's almost all attackers. They're so strong. Like, oh my god. And they jungle. Why can an attacker jungle? Like that still blows my mind. These characters are stupid. And Machamp is, I think I put Machamp here, and specifically because his presence in jungle sometimes is just so strong. Like if the Machamp is literally rotating at the right times, waiting in that bush, you get suplexed, you are dead. Like you are dead. Red buff Machamp is so annoying. He literally can just delete people sometimes, and he can isolate people to a submission. Like if you get like slightly away from your teammates, and the Blissey's not close enough to ult you, he literally just gets to kill you. Like he he puts him on his back. Like okay, you got it. Like character's kind of strong. I was surprised. I mean, that's a little personal tidbit, but I was surprised that Esmoto is in my team. Like when we're gonna play in a tournament, and he's a Lucario main. I'm surprised he hasn't picked up Machamp. I think Machamp will be a really good player for you, or a little like break from Lucario if you're looking for another Pokemon to play, because they both have similar archetypes and just different options, but they both do it well. They both do it really well. Blissey Jungle is fake. I've tried it. Someone, you better stop that misinformation. That's not good. That is not good. It can work sometimes, but you gotta slap him. You gotta be willing to go for the slap fight. I think if you're running a damage build on Blissey, Jungle Blissey might work. But yeah. He can run a lot of things too. He can be defensive. He has enough move speed to be defensive, and his move speed buffs are really good. You can't. But I love Blissey. I have a soft spot for Blissey. I love that character. But yeah, Machamp. I think Machamp is actually this high. I think he's really slept on. I think like not many people play Machamp, but he's good. Machamp is so good. Yo, watch my Blissey attack weight in jungle, man. It'll be hype. I promise you, it'll do stuff. I might be down to run that one game. All right, we got our next one, Dragonite. I think Dragonite. I think he's a little better than Machamp, actually. I think he's better than Sylveon. I think he might be better than Slowbro a little bit too. Let me tell you why. I'll put him here. I'm gonna try to attack away Serena so bad. Yeah, I know, right? I feel that way about Ninetales sometimes. I just want to run special attack specs, which I do most of the time. But if I can't get to that goal and I die, I get tilted. Like I didn't score first, so no. BG already. Moving on to Dragonite, I think Dragonite is really good. I think Dragonite is actually... I think Dragonite might be the second best all-rounder because of his range. Let me tell y'all, they nerfed this character and he's still good. Outrage, extreme speed. You're locking down your target. If you hit them with outrage while you're extreme speeding... Oh, okay, wait, hold on. Let me start from the beginning. So, like, early game, this character's fine. Early game, this character does damage. It's a ranged attacker, Dratini. He's cute, he's a little cute. He does a little, like, baby hyper beam, and it's great. And he got good damage. His boosted attack, like, stuns you for a second. It's cool. And it kind of has, like, an elemental effect. There's, like, a fire one. Yeah. We're still gonna play. I'm still down to play after this. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Dragonite's really good. I think Dragonite's early game is a little dependent, and I think Dragonite is also a good jungler. I think Dragonite is a really strong jungler. Switch to just chatting. Oh yeah, you're right. I keep forgetting that I need to change the info. That's cool. You can watch me do it. If you guys use OBS. Where is it? I think it's Scene Collection. No, it's Docs. Yeah, Docs, and you go to Stats. Nope. Stream information. I'll reset my stats. I think I pressed it on accident. I did it again. Oh, now I'm live. Yay. Yeah, stream information. Voila. And then I can change the things like this. And so, United Tier Not our relevance. relevant. Relevance. How you spell relevance? You know, that word, meta characters. We're just gonna leave it out because you know that's what we do in the side. Relevant mons. I'm keeping it simple, man. It's fine. There's a little space here. And the go live notification. We're still gonna do Pokemon Unite, dog. That's happening. I'm so excited. Oh yeah. Alright. Let's go back real quick. Oh my god. A timer. I'll keep it brief. But I think like the way you play early game with Dragonite specifically does depend on how well you do late game. But I think when you steamroll with this character, he only gets better. He can run a Scorcon build and it's great. He can literally get to the goal by ulting and it has so much range. It has like, it's not global range at all, but it's really good. Like from bees spawning to almost the second tier goal, like it matters. Sometimes he can get away with it too. Like it's just gross. If you don't know where to look, where the Dragonite is gonna ult, just have opinion. It's like down lane or like in the jungle somewhere. I don't know if you can see the AOE from that far away, but it's great. If one of your opponents is there, you might be able to do it. And you know he's coming when that little circle just comes. It's like just sitting there. I'm like, oh my god, what is this? Simeon, someone. yeah, dog. So it's 2 letters. Thank you. Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot the freaking thing. The L and the E. Thank you for lacing me up. This character's nice. And he can run both things. Let me tell you why this character's so strong. So, when you hit someone with your ability, it resets the cooldown on all your other ability as well. So, say if you run Dragon Dance Hyper Beam, and you hit them with the auto, it literally resets the cooldown. It like takes it down every second, a second whenever you hit something. Even when you hit with Hyper Beam, it resets the cooldown. And you get to have increased attack speed. It's more often, and he just gets to keep offensively pressuring you. He gets to like steamroll really hard. I think it's like the role character. Like it just benefits so hard. Extreme speed is good. You literally teleport, slam at your opponent, knock them up. And if you hit someone, I usually run extreme speed outrage. Even though it does change his range to melee, it's good damage, and every hit like slightly stuns you a little bit too. And it resets both outrage and extreme speed, so you can keep chasing down your opponent so hard. It's kind of crazy. I will say that's kind of crazy. This character can do a lot, and he can survive too. And depending on what the build, Goal Getter is so good on him. And if you all get knocked up by his ult, most of the time he's running Goal Getter, he sends into the goal. If y'all aren't all ready to like burst him down super quick, sometimes you aren't stopping him, even with 100 score. Like he can clutch games really hard too. He can clutch objectives really hard. He has the range to like kite you too. Dragonite is a really strong character. I think Dragonite's actually like underratedly strong. And the only reason he's not played much more is because Duraludon exists. Cinderace exists. All the top characters exist. Blastoise. It's just, he can do slightly some things. But Dragonite definitely has the mobility to stick to his opponents and the pressure to like force you to like switch your target to Dragonite. And Dragonite and Duraludon are a really good pair together. And that character can get out of control fast. And if he gets fed, or if y'all get the experience, he can really come back hard from a deficit too. That character is the comeback character. Playmaker. This is the playmaker all-arounder. They all can do it, but Dragonite just has the range. He has the ranged attacks. Almost all the other all-rounders are combat-based, like melee range. Serena and Aegislash too. Character is broken a little bit, just a little bit though. He's not super crazy. It's only because he gets countered. He gets countered by the better attackers. If they burst him down, he either has to get out. He has to like use his, use your resources, and then you're at a loss. If the Dragonite has to leave the fight, you are at a loss if he has to like go low health and back. Sometimes it can be the deciding factor whether you take Zapdos or not. That's happened to me a few times before. Dragonite was low, didn't want to die and leave. I think you should just fight all the way to the end. That way, you know, at least you did enough damage for your team to possibly make a comeback. But his damage is super important. I think it's definitely one of those things. All right. And then Serena. I definitely feel like she was right. She was right, like here, like right here. When she released, Serena was crazy. Serena was definitely that on-release character that was just nuts. Now she got nerfed. She got really nerfed hard. They nerfed the lifesteal on Triple Axel, and they buffed Stomp and Chop Kick. Chop Kick slows harder and does more damage, as well as Stomp doing a lot more. Stomp does noticeably, like when you get hit by Stomp, you feel it like that. It hurts. She's good. She's still good, but on top of her being melee range, that lifesteal, like, it dicked her really hard. Like, I think she's like borderline unusable when you have Machamp, Garchomp, Dragonite, Lucario. Like they all like super outclass her sometimes. But Stomp is strong. Like, the reason I say how strong it is, you can still run Triple Axel and get the Queenly Majesty resets on your cooldowns. The more boosted auto attacks you do, the more the 3 little stacks you get. I think you notice it. I think whenever she gets to Serena, because when she's Steenie, she doesn't have it, but she can still use her full abilities. But it will be like 3 bars on top of her health, and once you stack those, you use an ability, you can use it again. But you know, it's like it's on a cooldown, but you can reset that cooldown. She's really yeah. She definitely got left in the dust really hard. She's still strong though, but you'll see a lot of Serena mains. I think people like Serena. I definitely forgot she existed until they put her back in the game, and then I rewatched the anime episode. I was like, who is Serena again? But the character's cool. The character's actually really cool. She's fun. Her ult's strong. It'll give her the attack buff she needs to reset her cooldowns faster. She does damage. She does good damage. And I've seen it. Chop Kick. Oh, that's slow. Chop Kick slow is really good. It's really like you're in that little like yellow lane, and then you're just like, oh my god, I can't move. Like, and if she's like offensively pressuring you, she kind of just goes off. It's important. It's important to like burst her down early and like not let her run speed's kind of fast. I think she's like a little faster than Garchomp, because I don't really have a problem running away from him, but she can get there and she can use her abilities. But yeah, that's Serena. She's great. She can score a lot. She gets fed. I think attack weight on her. I think I've seen attack weight on her sometimes, but you gotta be kind of like crazy and willing to like fight all the time, because she excels in 1v1ing and fighting. She's a scrapping character. I think she does well in team fights. Now we have Aegislash. That's my boy. When Aegislash came out, I really liked him. And Aegislash still good. I don't think they nerfed him with anything. He's fine. Where is he, though? Aegislash is also a good jungler. I think he's fine in the jungle. He's like right here. He's like in that realm with Gengar and Absol, because like you can play them. You can play him, and he's still great. His attacking is really good. I think he's like right there. He's a really good 1v1er. Like, oh my god. Like, he gets the stacks. I forgot how you stack them, but if he's in sword mode, okay, well, I gotta explain how that works. So when he starts out, he has no guard. The first 2 evolutions, Hone Edge and Drill Blade, no guard, you can't like you receive and deal more damage. So it's kind of risky to go in, but Shadow Sneak is such a good ability. I think he has just enough mobility for him to like scrap hard. I think he can fight for a while too. If he has his ult and like executes people, his ult also does execute people straight. 25% below. If you're low health, beware, because you'll just hear it. The little sword sounds like a sword is being drawn. He literally slams the ground, but the hitbox is really small, so you can kind of like kite it a little bit. But still, if you're like fighting someone, you just use an ability that you can't move in, and he kind of read you, you kind of bop. This is another high cap character. I think learning how to fight with him and learning how his cross-ups work is important. because every time you cross up, you hit them. When you use a sword ability, which will usually be your bottom abilities, once you level up, you have Shadow Claw and Sacred Sword. When you use those moves, you knock your opponent up. Shadow Claw doesn't knock up immediately, but it has a knock up at the end, and then you get a little stat if you have boosted the attack gauge turn on. You'll see like a little white bar. He crosses him up, he knocks him up on top of that. He's a really good fighter. He can put a lot of offensive pressure, and he can still goals. He can still objectives kind of well actually. His moves are really good because he attacks everything he crosses through. I think too. This character's nice. This character's nice in the jungle too, because if he gets the red buff on you, it's kind of hard to get away from him. He has just enough speed and mobility on his moves. He dashes with every single sword ability. Iron Head and Wide Guard block abilities. I think Wide Guard blocks a little better than Iron Head, but you just have to know how the move works. It kind of like knocks your opponent up, and there's a little like thing when he starts out with Iron Defense as well as like some blocking moves. He blocks damage. Sometimes with his shield moves, it's fine. He usually gets a shield from using it, but he does block damage. Sometimes I've hit out. This is specifically an Aegislash thing, but I definitely think he like randomly will block damage depending on what move he's using. He might have like some iframes in his moves that I don't know about, because sometimes I'm hitting him. Sometimes he's at like 10% left health, and I'm hitting him. He's walking toward the goal. I'm hitting him, and I'm like, I literally didn't do any damage to him. Like, what just happened? Like, it does happen. You'll notice it the more you fight them. They're honestly not. There's not a lot of Aegislashes left. I think they're just picking up other characters. The character kind of is outclassed, but he also brings like a specific like mix up to the game where you have to like know how to fight him. He's really like a He's like a skirmisher. I think Aegislash, if you know your abilities really well, you can fight for a long time. You can definitely do it, and it's worth it learning how to fight with him and against him. This character is nice. I also think he benefits from attack weight. I think if you stack attack on him, he can steamroll hard. He can steamroll really hard, actually. And it's kind of hard. His ult does damage, even though it doesn't execute you. Sometimes if you have a lot of health, it's good to know like a little bit about what Aegislash can do. So you're either like kiting him with a team or at the tower to burst him down, but he can still chase really hard. So I'd say he's good. I think he's like a really like an odd pick, but I think he's like kind of an off meta pick too, where you kind of have to like know how to engage him, or you can just get knocked up, or he can interrupt you out of your ult, and then you just you gotta play it, and then you have to fight him with no ult, depending on what character you have. And if that's like, I think he really does well against 1v1s with squishies. I think he can burst down ADCs. So he doesn't really struggle against the top tiers. It's just a matter of getting to them. He doesn't have any like ranged abilities other than his ult, but he's good. I like Aegislash. Definitely try him out. He's fun. And now we have Clefairy, our final. I'm using her as a Azumarill. All right. Listen, Azumarill is also an all-rounder, so that's why I saved her to the end. I set this up. We take those. Okay. The reason why I think Azumarill will be the bottom of A tier, I think Azumarill will be right here. This is where I'm putting Azumarill when he comes out. Unless, I know we've had a reoccurring theme of characters being broken on release. It always happens. I know they would probably just want you to have fun with the character, enjoy the character, and then they balance them, which makes sense. Makes perfect sense with Duraludon. Makes perfect sense with Sylveon. Makes perfect sense with literally Serena too. These characters are nice on release. So if Azumarill is not busted on release, it's an easy, like, it's a solid pick, right? But then you have ranged attackers that can do crits as well. But we did talk about the passive earlier. Someone was definitely our MVP. He definitely pointed out that her passive will crit if it's a one-hit move. This benefits Aqua Tail so much because if you're running a full crit build and strong, and the first thing I'm running on Azumarill is Muscle Band, Scope Lens, Razor Claw, like easily. I need to see how much I can get out of critting this character. I need to use the crits along with everything else. And I'm going to experiment a lot with Azumarill because I haven't really like experimented a super lot with the new. The new characters that come out, I'm really like. If I really like them, I'll experiment with them. So that's why I know about Atakwe Duraludon, which is kind of nice, but I think the crits benefit him a little more. So if the benefits for the crits are in Absol's range, and it's good and it's strong, and you can delete people, here. Easily right behind Ninetales, right? And that's my opinion. But I think right now, if the crits are not broken strong, and I'm being generous. I don't that's my generous word, man. If it's not like wowing everybody, Whirlpool, you know, it's fine. It'll do consistent damage, but she still has to get close to you, right? It's the same thing with Lucario. If you don't have a ranged option, her ult will be ranged. She can like jump to a target. Hopefully it deletes. Hopefully it will crit as well because of the one-hit crit thing. It's going to be awesome. Huge power. It's going to be such a cool passive to experiment with. So I want to see how broken the crits are. So my opinion is definitely going to change. And that's why I wanted to make this tier list like before she came out, so I can like, from what I've seen her, you know, like, let's go back a second. So yeah. So we start, right? 1, 2, 3. If that is not, you see how, you know, maybe if she just walked into the jungle, super fast jungling, that'd be hype. I'm down for this character to be nice. I'm down for this character to be like crazy. Yeah, piercing. Ow, it hurts. I want her to be crazy. I want her to be like, you know, cool. Because right now, this doesn't wow me. I'm going to be real. I'm judging her specifically from an aesthetic standpoint. Hello? Yeah. I think it'll be strong. I think she'll be really strong. And then ulting with the Aqua Tail will be great. I think it'll be amazing. I think it'll really benefit her. I think her potential can only go up, but I think right now I will have her in here until I can see how strong those crits are, and then we can go from there. If this is what I'm theorizing, I won't say it out loud because I don't want it to happen, you know. I don't want anyone to hear me and then like, oh no, let's check that out. But if Huge Power has another part of the passive that I obviously hope is a part of it, because, you know, it's Huge Power, right? And then it'll be crazy, you know, it'll be crazy. But we have to see, because it still has to scale, it still has to all go well together. But right now, I think she just looks like a normal, like, all-arounder. If she's fast, that'll be great, but it depends on how fast she can move, how fast she can get to her target, how much how long they're stunned for the Aqua Tail to work. Because if you can just walk from Aqua Tail, I think it might be a little bad. If you can't land all those hits consistently, it's gonna be a big thing. Like the same thing with Lucario. Like that's why Extreme Speed is so good, because it like pushes you a little bit. It gives you that hit. Close combat is good because it doesn't do it, but the hits are so fast if you're standing right in front of him and you have to move away from him. You either have to use an escape and he can still chase you. Like this character has options. We'll see. We'll see. I'll probably edit like a picture out of this when I post it on on Reddit. But yes. Oh my god. Thank you guys for watching my tier list. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited for Azumarill to like hopefully shake up things. This is my current tier list at the moment, and I'm sticking to it. These characters are all great. I'm glad I gave it like a considerable thought. I hope